It's a cool day. As Ned mentioned, they practiced and qualified in 90-degree temperatures. Today, it's only about 74 degrees. And look at that humidity. You can wring the water out of the air right now. Thunderstorms in the forecast, but it's really warmed up in car and on track over 100 degrees. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Jeff Burton, 27th career pole. Ernie Irvan, last year's outside pole sitter in August, are on the front row there. Mark Martin and Ken Schrader. Doesn't like this track, but it was good to him yesterday. He starts for it. Bill Elliott, 7-time Michigan winner, best start of the season, and Dale Jarrett, who won his first Winston Cup race here. Row 4, Sterling Marlin looking for his second top 10 finish of the year, and Ward Burton. Row 5, Joe Nemechek and Steve Park, who's jumped 6 spots in the point standings in 1 week. Wally Dallenbach, 2 straight top 10s here, and Kenny Irwin. Rusty Wallace, a 4-time Michigan winner, was strong in practice, and Jeff Burton, the leading lap leader of the year. Row 8, there's Dale Earnhardt, 2-time winner of this race, and Michael Waltrip. Row 9, Jeremy Mayfield, runner-up at Darlington, and Bobby Labonte won both races here in '95. Kenny Wallace ran well at Dover, but got dumped. Jerry Nadeau. Dave Blaney, the sprint car star, second Winston Cup start in Robert Presley. Jeffrey Bodine won here in '94. John Andretti, this year's Martinsville winner. Darrell Waltrip, a 2-time Michigan winner, and Johnny Benson. Derek Cope and the hottest rookie on the tour, Tony Stewart. Jimmy Spencer and Rick Mast to the 15th row, then Kevin LePage and Ted Musgrave, Mike Skinner and Shad Little, Ricky Rudd, Elliott Sadler, the rookie, Terry Labonte, provisional starter, along with Bobby Hamilton. David Green and Kyle Petty took provisionals. So did Brett Bodine and Rich Bickle. And Loy Allen, 1.7 seconds off the pace, but he got the final provisional. And then that meant 3 fellas had to go home.
3 drivers did have to go home. Dave Marcus lost by just 7/1000ths of a second. Hut Strickland, Buckshot Jones could not get enough speed either to get in the field. There are 43 cars starting this race. They'll go for 200 laps, 400 miles. Almost $2 million at stake, and the fuel window 45 to 55 laps. The race record was set back in 1996 by Rusty Wallace.
Manufacturers breakdown today. There'll be 20 Fords in today's show, 14 Chevrolets, 9 Pontiacs. Ford leads the manufacturers' championship run right now with 6 wins. Let's take a look at the track. It's 2-mile D-shaped oval, 18 degrees in the turns, 12 degrees on front stretch, and 5 degrees on the back straightaway. Watch turn 2.
Let's quickly get through our in-car cameras. Mark Martin, the Valvoline Eagle 1 camera in that Jack Roush Ford, starting 3rd. Dale Jarrett, the Ford Credit Ford Quality Care cam, going off 6th for Robert Yates. The Bud cam rides with Wally Dallenbach from the 11th starting position in his Hendrick Chevrolet. Kenny Irwin, the Texaco Haviland camera, that Robert Yates Ford, running 12th at the start. Jeff Burton, the NASCAR Rocks True Value X-Side camera. Robert Presley, the Jasper Engines and Transmissions cam. Tony Stewart will be the Home Depot camera, and we'll also have Kevin LePage, the TV Guide Star Car camera. For 400 miles, the green flag waves at Michigan. We're racing. Good clean start, and it's Ernie Irvan who pulls out the lead, and here comes Mark Martin for second.
Mark Martin loves the inside of this racetrack and made a good move there. Got on the inside of Jeff Gordon, but Ernie Irvan got it all to himself going into turn 3.
Kenny Schrader having a good run in 4th there in the green car, number 33.
And he's got a challenge from Bill Elliott. Mark Martin to second, behind Ernie Irvan. Jeff Gordon, 3rd. Bill Elliott comes up the inside against Kenny Schrader. Is 5th at the stripe, ahead of Ward Burton.
Mike, look at this. 3 wide down into turn 1. Of course, they get back 2 by 2 as they go through the corner. You don't want to go 3 wide this early before the air pressure builds up in the tires.
Ernie Irvan, second race of the year he has led. He led 5 laps at Las Vegas. Jostling mid-pack. Look at him come. 3 wide, Rusty Wallace on the bottom. Number 2.
The inside groove right now is the fastest groove it will be while the tires are still new. As the tires get heated up, I think this outside groove will come in a little bit more.
Dale Jarrett on the outside in 88 right there coming down the front straightaway. You can see right now 3 and 4 wide as they come down towards the start-finish line.
Boy, Joe Nemechek was the man in the middle, and he got squeezed back a couple of rows. He is still in the middle. Look at that blue car with the orange stripe with Michael Waltrip, the 7 up high, and Kenny Irwin, the 28 down low, fighting for 13th spot.
This Michigan Speedway is wide, so they can do a lot of that double wide and 3 wide racing.
And then these drivers are finding out right now, for the first time, did they guess right on the setup on a green racetrack?
Exactly, because the track is different from what it was yesterday. If we look out the windshield of Kenny Irwin's car.
Whoa, Wally Dallenbach goes down on the flat part of the racetrack, trying to get by the 99 car, Jeff Burton, down the front straightaway. Almost a wreck.
They were 4 wide at the start-finish line. Buddy, this is the kind of racing we saw here in the 70s and the early 80s, where they'd go 3 wide all the way around the racetrack.
Yeah, and you can see they are still running side by side as they go down the back straightaway. On the outside of Wally Dallenbach, that's Kenny Irwin in the 28. You can see what the draft does here. They're drafting up on each other. That's actually a turbulence from the cars in front that pulls that car behind them forward.
Jeff Burton, 99 to the outside, well back of the lead. Burton in 12th place. Here's the lead. New sponsor on that car from the same corporation. And there's a big yellow Labrador on the side. That's no show dog. That's his dog, Ryder. Ryder. He even has his own souvenir card. And he made an appearance and signed paw prints the other night in Southfield, Michigan. Lots of people showed up to have their dogs meet him.
Speaking of moving up, Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 there comes off the corner and gets a great run down the back straightaway. Made up about 3 positions down the back straightaway.
Dick Berggren.
There have been some changes since we were here last June. The changes are 2 in number. 1, horsepower. The majority of mechanics have found between 10 and 20. Mark Martin takes the lead and found between 10 and 20 additional horsepower under the hood. Meanwhile, NASCAR has given these cars more spoiler, more front valence. That hugs the cars closer to the racetrack, and that has made the drivers much more racy. This could be the fastest Michigan 400 we've ever seen, Mike.
And with the rain in the forecast, it may well need to be, Dick. Not far away are those thunderstorms that plagued this area last night, and there's more coming.
Great race for second. Ward Burton on the bottom in the cat car there. They're fighting Ernie Irvin on the outside as they head down the front straightaway. Mark Martin says, I like this view as he looks back.
Continued battle further back. They are knotted up at 9th spot. That's the 2 of Rusty Wallace and the 40 of Sterling Marlin with a pack behind them. Still 2 and 3 wide. Jarrett, the point leader and the point runner-up, 99. Burton are in it. Here goes Burton. They think, they think nothing of making it 3 wide here.
And here comes Kenny Irwin down on the inside. He'll make it 3 wide as well. And what allows them to do that is they pick up the draft of the cars in front of them coming off of the turn, and they're running so fast, as Buddy pointed out earlier, that the draft plays a big part here.
Upper left of your screen, numbers displayed with red have lost a position the last time by. Numbers backgrounded as green, like Dave Blaney there, have gained a spot in the last lap. That Irvin off the pace. Ernie Irvin dropping back.
He is off pace just a little bit. He might have got a little bit loose. I don't want to speculate because he is dropping back down the straightaway right now. So something's a little bit amiss on that car. But now he drops into the draft there and follows Jeff Burton down the back straightaway.
He dropped to 4th place behind Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, and Jeff Gordon. Looking for Tony Stewart and the Home Depot camera. There's Kevin LePage alongside. And up high is Dave Blaney, the sprint car race. You might say he's up on the cushion.
Yeah, and Johnny Benson in 26 there. He's looking him over also. If you slip one time here, you lose about 10 spots.
This racing, as good as it is, it's only for 23rd spot.
Blaney on his second NASCAR Winston Cup race. First one here at Michigan, of course, and first one this year. He ran one at Rockingham a few years ago, I believe.
Ralph Shaheen, is there a problem with Ernie Irvin?
Mike, right now he's a little bit tight. They're going to just ride as long as they can, hope the car comes back around to him and get ready to make adjustments at the first round of pit stops, which should come about lap 50. Also, Dale Jarrett is a little bit loose. So just like we talked about at the beginning of the show, the drivers and crews trying to figure out whether or not they guessed right with the rain on the racetrack from last night.
Well, let's talk about tight first off, because that's a little bit of jargon that we use in the pits there. That means that the front end's taken off. That means it won't turn, and you have to back out of throttle. So he's trying to follow cars to make the car a little more loose where the back end goes out just a little bit.
Bill Elliott pulling down on Mark Martin for the lead. Elliott first came to national prominence when the city of Jackson, Michigan, a bunch of businessmen sponsored him here. Harry Melling ended up sponsoring that car and buying that team. He was from Jackson, Michigan, passed away 2 weeks ago. And if Elliott could win this race, he has a lot of fans here in Michigan because of Harry Melling.
Well, I watched him in practice yesterday, and Bill Elliott's one of the fastest cars on the speedway. And you can see right now, car working very well. He is using the higher line as Jeff Gordon down on the right-hand side of the screen there is pulling up just a little bit. Look down the straightaway. What a great motor. Mark drafting.
Got right up to Mark Martin. Give him a little shove down the back straightaway because he has a mirror full of Jeff Gordon. Here comes Gordon to the inside.
Elliott's car seems to be working okay up there in that second groove, but Gordon's is working very well down in the bottom groove, too, and he's going to make the pass.
For second place, defending Winston Cup champion Jeff Gordon. Takes that spot away, but does he as Elliott fights back on the outside in turn 2.
Bill Elliott says it's nice to be up front again, and the car on the outside there gets a great run down the straightaway. As you see, Jeff Gordon cannot really make a run at him down the back straightaway. They're dead even going towards turn 3.
Now in turns 3 and 4, where Gordon has been the best on the low side, he does drive it deep into the turn there. Gets out in front of Elliott, but here he comes back up on the outside.
And surprisingly, Ned, them running side by side has not allowed the cars behind to catch up. Ward Burton has not gained on the two of them, nor have Irvin, Schrader, Steve Park, and Jeff Burton.
But it did allow Mark Martin to pull away a little bit from him.
Jeff Gordon said, I don't believe I like it under you that much. That does tend to make the car underneath get a little bit loose, though. He just dropped in behind Bill Elliott and said, I'll ride here for a second.
Hey, Jeff Burton is on a tear as we watch Sterling Marlin outside John Andretti and Dale Earnhardt. Jeremy Mayfield in that battle for 14th right there. Earnhardt and Andretti have won this year already. Marlin, only one top 10 finish thus far. But here's the man on the move, Jeff Burton. He just passed Steve Park, who's having a great day in 7th spot. And Burton is coming to the front.
See everybody dropping down to the inside of the front straightaway there. They're trying to break the draft on the cars that are gaining up on them by going to somewhere that you wouldn't think everybody would run. But the minute they go low, you just follow them right in the slipstream.
Jeff Burton started 14th today. He is up to 7th. Here's your lead front 4. Single file, they may be able to run down Mark Martin, the leader.
They'll certainly have a better chance than when they were racing side by side. They have moved back in on him a little bit, but here comes Gordon again down on the inside.
Well, he's cooled the tires down a couple of laps now, and he's going to make another run at him. Ward Burton's trying to decide, who do I want to go with right now?
And just behind them, 99 to 33, Kenny Schrader feeling the charge from Jeff Burton. And 3 wide for second place. Ward Burton pops up there.
What a move.
He said, I'll make my own way around here. I don't need anybody to follow.
Didn't somebody say NASCAR racing was getting boring? I don't think so. This is pretty wild. Dick Berggren.
Mark Martin liked his race car so much yesterday that this morning the mechanics didn't change it at all for the weather. And as well as he is running right now, he says there's still more speed in the car. Loose is fast at Michigan. Mark says you can loosen this one up a little bit more. Oh boy, hang on.
Last year's winner. He's had a lot of success on this racetrack. And given away 1 or 2 as well here. 15 of 200 laps. Mark Martin leading. Ward Burton, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, and Ernie Irvin. Jeff Burton now up to 6th in front of Kenny Schrader, Steve Park, Kenny Irwin, and 10th is Bobby Labonte. A look from Kevin LePage, the TV guide, Star Car Cam from Roush Racing. And we'll be back after this.
On any road, in any kind of weather, you can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire. But not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear Aqua Steel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. Aqua Steel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
To help you remember 10, 10, 3, 4, 5 long distance, we're looking at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th planets. You can call anywhere in the world and save up to 50%. Calls to Italy, Germany, and France are only 20 cents a minute. Well, I've just been informed that Jupiter, not Saturn, is the 5th planet. 10-10-3-4-5. The simple way to save on all your long distance.
That's one race that I wish I could run over one more time.
The legendary Daytona 500 has broken a lot of hearts.
I was way out front in 1981, and that thing ran out of gas.
In 74, I blew a tire with 12 laps to go.
But the biggest heartbreak of all would be trying to get into Daytona International Speedway using an American Express card. So if you want to enjoy the heart-pounding excitement of Daytona, bring your Visa card, official card of NASCAR.
My girlfriend left me here at Daytona. I sure miss that car.
Hey! He's in the garage.
Hey! If you're going to have a garage, have a garage. And if you're going to use an oil, use an oil. Pennzoil with Pure Base, specially formulated for stop-and-go driving.
Like what I've done with the place?
Hey, what does this do?
Well, that opens up the roof so I can airlift anything in or out of the garage.
Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Monday on Dave.
You watch The Late Show, you'll get your money's worth.
Don't miss actor-director Tim Robbins and boxing champ Oscar De La Hoya. Monday.
Welcome back to CBS Sports coverage of the Kmart Michigan 400. Mark Martin in the lead. Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Ward Burton. Fight for second through fourth. They've all hit the setup well today, as has Jeff Burton.
But they've run down Mark Martin and moved in less than a car length now. Bill Elliott's looking over both sides there.
At sixth place, Irvin and Irwin battle. That's Kenny Irwin moving up. Ernie Irvin had just given that spot back. And now comes forward on the outside again.
And here comes Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett right behind them as they battle in front. That allows them to catch right up, even though they were catching up to them beforehand. Jarrett had dropped back to about 15th position. Reported his car was very loose there at the beginning, but now he's coming back towards the front.
As we look back for Mark Martin, that is Bill Elliott.
Taking a look on the inside down the back straightaway, thought better of it. He said, I'll just ride along with Mark Martin as they go down into turn 3. Bill's a little bit slower through the corner than Mark, but he has a great motor down the straightaway.
Bill Elliott's kind of in a position Richard Petty used to describe himself as being. A lot of folks feel that if my driver can't win, I'd like to see Richard Petty win. That's kind of where Bill Elliott is right now. Nobody would be disappointed to see him win this race today as he takes the lead from Mark Martin with a little bit of help from Jeff Gordon, but it's not help anymore.
No, and Jeff Gordon wants to get up there and get those 5 points for leading the lap here. That's very important near the end of the year when you're running for the championship. But Bill Elliott has nothing to do with it right now. He's running very, very well on the high side of the racetrack.
His car, right from the very beginning, Buddy, has worked up there in that second groove, and even while he's leading, he moves up there and said, go ahead and go at it down below me there, fellas. If you think you can pass me and they can't do it. I don't think he was the official leader when he came out the last time, Mike, but he is going to be this time, so he'll get those 5 bonus points for leading the lap.
Elliott sweeps it down low at the start of the stripe, brings it back up high for the entrance of turn 1. Doesn't break the draft at all. Everybody right in his tire tracks until the middle of the corner. Here comes Gordon again on the low side.
And Mark Martin has the style that every once in a while, he'll just drop back and check you out for tough. You know, he'll want to see what you're doing to catch him like that. He'll look at what you're doing in the corner and just overhaul you later on.
Third race of 1999 that Bill Elliott has led. 7 of his 40 Winston Cup victories have come here at Michigan. Elliott's last win, Darlington, 1994.
See that car in the back of that lead pack there? You mentioned Jeff Burton a little bit earlier, Mike. He has come up now to 5th position. So he's come from 14th. He has been on the go.
Almost 3 wide again for the lead down between turns 1 and 2. Here's Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, and when it comes to Jeff Gordon's setup, Ray Evernham told me this morning that he used a semi-experimental setup for qualifying that worked out pretty good. They were not happy with it at all in the final practice session of the day yesterday. So this morning they spent a lot of time reworking the setups on this car and went back to something they know. They were pretty happy with it so far today. Bill Stevens?
Well, Ralph, even though there's a lot of racing left to go today, Bill Elliott has already accomplished something that was very important to him. As Mike mentioned, his former car owner, Harry Melling, recently passed away. Bill Elliott told me in the garage yesterday he wants to at least lead a lap today. Of course, the one he would love to lead is the last one. To Dick Berggren.
Bill Elliott has a unique setup in his race car today. He's got a new crew chief, and the new crew chief's name is Wayne Orm. And what he has done is to give him a car that just drives ever so smooth. Wayne says he wants the car to drive like it's an airplane. No effort, no muscle to turn the automobile. So they took a car they'd already run 3 times this year, cut the body off. As Jeff Burton takes the lead, they cut the body off to try to get in the aerodynamic downforce that would make this car smooth, just the way Bill Elliott likes it. It looks like it's worked. There is, however, a slight vibration in that race car.
Jeff Gordon had the lead for a moment. Elliott sweeps back around the high side of turns 1 and 2 to retake it. Mark Martin had a look to the low side in third, and that has allowed the Burton brothers to come right into play, side by side.
If you can remember back at Vegas this year, those two fought it out for first and second right down to the checkered flag, so they're very spirited people.
For 8th place, 18 is Bobby Labonte. Number 1, Steve Park, who also has a new crew chief for that number 1 car. Paul Andrews, who was Jeremy Mayfield's crew chief. Steve says they are working together tremendously. When I think I want a right rear spring, Paul will call me on the radio during practice and say, hey, how about a heavier right front spring? They think alike. They don't have to waste a lot of time explaining to each other what they could do to the race car. They think in sync, and Steve says that means good things are ahead for this team, and he's showing it right now.
That is very, very important, and this is the best we've seen Bill run all year, and it's good to see him running that way.
2 by 2 by 2. Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, his teammate, Jeff Burton, both out of Roush Racing. And then Ward Burton has dropped a bit back from that group. And then it's a good gap back to the 6th place car, which is now Dale Jarrett with his Yates Racing stablemate Kenny Irwin drafting along.
Look at the difference in styles. All 3 cars, the first, second, and third car, have different approaches in the corner right now, and they're all working about the same.
Depends on the setup they got under the car, but here comes Gordon again. He got a good run that time. Takes the lead. Let's see if Elliott can come back on the outside. No, Gordon's going to slip up there and said, I'm going to take the high line off of turn 4 this time.
And Bill looks at the inside now, side by side, down the front straightaway.
All right, that's why it's 127,000 people come here to Michigan, and Elliott will lead the lap.
And you'd think they paid the whole $2 million out on this lap, but they don't. It's only lap 28. And I think Elliott found something out right there.
That he could back down to the inside. Absolutely. He'd been working that outside groove all the time. He got him a run there, and he said, hey, this thing will work down the inside, but there Gordon is out front again.
Looking at Mark Martin, look at Jeff Burton just go by. Now, Mark Martin rolled out the throttle there. They're teammates. He let him take 3rd spot right there. He said, let's see what you have to, and go up there and get him if you can.
And it brought Ward Burton right to him, Bill Davis's Pontiac. So now 5 cars. Now we can catch our breath in single file. I don't think that's the first time. Oh, no, they're not. Here comes Ward Burton for 4th place. As we look ahead from Jeff Burton. Ward Burton side by side with Mark Martin, not going to get the spot. Single file again. Looking at the 2 leaders from 3rd place, Jeff Burton.
Well, Bill Elliott's running right in the tire tracks of our leader, Jeff Gordon. But the 3rd place car here of Jeff Burton, he takes an entirely different line through the corner. He'll drop right to the white line on the bottom here.
4th place battle right here. Mark Martin in the Jack Roush Ford, number 6, and Ward Burton in the Pontiac 22. 2 Pontiacs in the top 10 thus far in the race. 29 of 200 laps complete. Jeff Gordon's crew watching and waiting. They will come to attention when the caution flag flies or somewhere around lap 50 for that first pit stop. At Dover, these cars were getting a little over 5 miles per gallon in the case of Bobby Labonte. Here we expect 4.5 to 5 miles per gallon. Longer racetrack, higher speed. How fast are they going, and what are they turning? We're on board with Kenny Irwin and our Circuit City telemetry.
Well, Ned, they're coming off the corner. You can see 7,500 there, approaching 8,000, over 180 miles an hour as they go by the start-finish line right there. 8,500. About 190 miles an hour, right at 200 as they head into turn 1.
That's the fastest point on the racetrack, and just before he lifted, he got up to 200 miles an hour and a little over 8,500 RPM. That's cranking them up.
Cranking them up, buddy. 8,500 RPM. Wasn't too long ago. You know, you'd have a grenade at about 8,500
Yeah,
RPM.
that was gear change time if we ever turned that much.
Side by side, 4th place. Mark Martin, number 6, Ward Burton, and here's Dale Jarrett, the point leader, right with them. From Dale Jarrett's number 88, the Ford Credit Cam.
Be nice to just ride down the front straightaway and listen as he rolls out of the throttle getting into turn 1.
And that's what he does, but he just sort of roll out. He's going to look high. Mark Martin, he loves the inside of this racetrack. He don't go many other places other than right down on the bottom of the track. It might cost him here this time as Jarrett's got to run up on the outside.
And he's going to pull past Mark Martin. So Dale Jarrett moves up into the top 5. It's Gordon, Elliott, and the Burton brothers at Michigan.
When friends get together, the work's all done. There's one place to go when the weekend comes. Ford Country. Look at that truck, Ford Country. Gonna kick up some dust, Ford Country. Where the open road runs, Ford Country. The whole world's Ford Country.
Eagle One wet car polish provides a rich, deep shine. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use Eagle One products?
You always want to look your best.
Eagle One. Are you ready for the attention? Free Hot Wheels with every purchase of Eagle One wet polish and wax while supplies last.
In the racing business, the right hardware at the right time can make the difference between winning and losing.
Get the toolbox that rocks at True Value. It's just $24.95 when you spend $20 or more on your Visa card at participating True Value hardware stores.
Your True Value is the official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and homes everywhere.
Hi there. Can we get you anything?
No, I'm fine.
Are you enjoying your stay, sir? You're on vacation, huh?
No business. At the Best Western Course seminar.
Isn't that still going on?
Workshops today. I slipped out the back. Boss is never going to know I spent all day on the beach.
You're not going to tell him, are you?
Book a Best Western hotel today and get a free DC Superheroes camera. Call 1-800-528-1234.
You know, these days, lots of deodorants are talking antibacterial protection. It's not about that at all. It's about whose deodorant lasts longer. High endurance. Old Spice guarantees it. If you want odor protection that really lasts, high endurance exceeds the need.
Cup racing under the lights from Daytona. It's the Pepsi 400. We'll have a 1-hour preview for you 5 p.m. July 3rd. And then Saturday night at 8 o'clock, the fireworks will be on the Speedway. See it live here on CBS Sports. Coming up next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Doug Flutie, Tommy Moe, Warren Sapp, Wayne Corbett, and many more battle to be the best in the Snapple Superstars. Then Marion Jones heads up the competition, lawn jumping in front of her hometown crowd in Raleigh at the Pontiac Grand Prix Invitational Track and Field Meet. That's coming up next. Tony Stewart's crew looking on as he has come from 28th starting position to 17th in these first 37 laps. It's his 14th career start.
He has made a good advance towards the front, Mike, but he's 16.5 seconds behind the leader.
Last rookie to win on this tour, Davey Allison, who did it in his 14th career Winston Cup start. Another fellow who won his 14th start, A.J. Foyt. Jeff Gordon started this race from the pole. That's where he runs ahead of Bill Elliott right now. Elliott, Jeff Burton has stormed through the field. Started 14th. He's running third. Mark Martin in fourth. Ward Burton in fifth. Rather, Dale Jarrett in fourth. Ward Burton in fifth. Mark Martin in sixth. Kenny Irwin, Bobby Labonte, Steve Hart, and Rusty Wallace. There's Kenny Schrader in 11th. The green car. The yellow car is outside pole sitter Ernie Irvin, number 36. He's running in 12th. There's a couple of young fellas having a strong day. Bobby Labonte, who won last week at Dover, and Steve Hart.
You can bet some of these guys are looking for a caution or maybe just getting in there and making some adjustments on these cars. As Kenny, several cars have said they're very loose out there. Other cars are saying they're pushing. First pit stop, that's when you make all the adjustments on your car.
29th place, Dave Blaney in his second Winston Cup start. He drives for Bill Davis on the Busch Series of 93. Battling along with 98 Rick Mast with new colors. Lots of colors on that 98 this week. Joe Nemechek in it.
This group is about 25 seconds behind the leader, and the leader's running about 41 seconds around this racetrack, so they're over a half a lap behind, but they're having a great race back there.
Side by side still, though. Jeff Burton made about 50 attempts to get by Bill Elliott. Cannot get it done. Bill lets him get all the way by him getting in the corner, and then he powers right back up beside him. This time it looks like Jeff Burton has made the pass.
And Dale Jarrett's closed up on that group for second and third. Jarrett in fourth, Ward Burton fifth. Mark Martin, Irwin Park, Bobby Labonte, and Rusty Wallace. Look how hard they're racing for 30th place.
There's Dave Blaney down on the inside.
A little smoke out of the back of that car. I think he's having trouble, Ned. I noticed he's way off the pace down the straightaway. So Dave Blaney, right at the moment, is not running like he'd like to be.
There's Derek Cope in the 30 that he's racing with. Derek's had a tough year this year, trying to get things back on track. They have some new personnel in that organization. As we take a look at Dave Blaney there.
His only Winston Cup start came for Stan Hover many years ago. But now he's with the Davis organization, hopes to move up to Winston Cup full-time next season. Kyle Petty, who took a provisional spot right behind them.
Jimmy Spencer there in the red and white car just behind this group.
That's 31st spot on back. Let's go to Bill Stevens.
Just talked to Greg Zippadelli, the crew chief for Tony Stewart. He's got a problem with visibility. A car ahead, they think it might be the 7, is losing some fluid. They think it's oil. So Greg said, stay back. Don't do anything right now. When things dry out, you can begin to move up.
I know Michael Walters hopes it's not him having a problem right now. That's the 7 car. But they look on the windshield, and you see oil. It really, really gets your attention.
There's your lead battle. On the left of your screen is Gordon. Next is Burton, and side by side for third, Jarrett coming up on Bill Elliott.
Well, Dale Jarrett's the fastest car on the racetrack. I'll say it. Ned won't right now, but I will tell you the 88 car is mowing them down right now. He closed in from about 300 yards back on the front 3.
I'll give you a little bit of a clue, buddy. About 15 laps ago, he was 4 seconds behind, and now he's right there with them. So he is running good.
Outside the top 10, Kenny Schrader 11th, Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt, John Andretti, Jeremy Major 15th, Jerry Nadeau, Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte, Kevin LePage, and Wally Dallenbach are the top 20. Here's Dick Berggren.
And Ken Schrader, who you just mentioned in 11th spot, Mike, had started in 4th position. He's having problems with the chassis balance on that race car. It's pushing the nose coming off the corner. Mark Martin has slipped from the lead to 6th. He's got exactly the same problem. On the other hand, Bill Elliott, currently running in 4th spot, he's delighted with the way that race car runs. Pit stops will be coming up in another 5 to 8 laps. Elliott's not going to change anything except 4 tires and gas it.
88 miles, 44 laps have been completed. All 43 starters running on the lead lap.
I doubt if we'll see many of them go past that 50 lap mark. Maybe not even quite go to it on this first pit stop. This is the first chance they've really had to gauge that fuel mileage. Certainly they checked it out yesterday in practice, but it could be a little bit different today because the air temperature is different.
Pit board is out for Ken Schrader. They're up on the wall having a look at car 33 as he comes by. Of course, they communicate by radio, but they were in position ready to jump over the wall.
There's something you hardly ever see. Mark Martin going backwards in the field like he is right now. He has a handling problem of some kind, and until he makes his pit stop, he's just taking it easy not to make a mistake.
He's back in the clutches of Kenny Irwin and Steve Hart, the 28 and the 1, 2 drivers who were expected to battle for that rookie championship last year until Hart had a bad crash at Atlanta. Looking back at them from the Eagle 1 camera on Mark Martin's car.
Kenny Irwin's car looks like he's handling pretty good down the straightaway to me.
It normally does, that Robert Yates engine.
David Green is the first to pit as we have a battle for the lead.
Jeff Burton runs down on the inside of Jeff Gordon.
Jarrett coming down. He wants that 5 points for leading also. He's made it 3 wide down in turn 1.
He didn't lead that lap, but he may lead the next one. Burton wisely squeezes out of the middle of that sandwich, and now it'll be Ford against Chevy off turn 2.
Gordon up on the outside. He'll have a run. He should be able to pull ahead down the backstretch as they normally do. Jeff Burton drops back as Jeremy Mayfield comes into the pits. David Green comes into the pits. Ricky Rudd is coming in.
Rick Mast and Johnny Benson all making pit stops.
Yeah, I don't believe he wants him to get the 5 points right now. They're going at it.
Gordon's trying everything he can to keep him from it. Let's see if he does. As he comes to the line, he'd like to get it before they make the pit stop, but he didn't that time. Gordon does.
Check that out. Was Robert Presley, not Benson, making a stop here on the 47th lap. For the lead, Jeff Gordon's Chevrolet, the defending Winston Cup champion, against the man who is poised to win it, the point leader, Dale Jarrett, side by side for the front spot. Rusty Wallace is in.
Rick Mast goes out.
Elliott Sadler, the rookie in the Wood Brothers Ford, in for a stop. Winningest car owners at Michigan, the Wood Brothers.
Now Jarrett's got the run coming off the turn. He might be able to lead this lap. He does.
Dave Blaney on pit road. All of these are green flag pit stops. The cars that are stopping will cycle a lap down to the leaders, and will make it back up when those leaders stop. Most of them will.
Yes, and they're on their 49th lap, so they'll be coming in here very, very quickly. One thing you don't want to do is run out of gas on this racetrack. If you ran out coming off of turn 4 after you pass pit road, you're history.
Well, the biggest thing is how fast you get around the 2-mile area here. If you get a lap down, you're really behind here.
There's Ryder on the side of Ernie Irvin's car. Really is his dog. Yeah. Ralph Sheen.
Mike, they're going to make an adjustment to the back of the car on the 36 of Ernie Irvin. They take on all 4 tires on this car. Make the chassis adjustment to the right side, complete the fuel up, and he will be back underway.
Michael Waltrip is in. Kenny Wallace and Jeff Burton, the first of the leaders, makes a stop. His brother Ward is in with him. Derek Cope, Dale Earnhardt, and Kenny Schrader. Bill Stevens.
Jeff Burton into the pits. He just told his crew chief, Frank started, the car's getting tighter. They're adjusting with air pressure, 1 pound out of each tire on the right side. The crew chief doing double duty. That's Frank, the front tire changer, attacking the left front. 12,000 RPMs in those impact guns. 2 of those lug nuts off. 4 tires on the car. Fuel is in, and he's out and away.
Loy Allen has stopped. Jeffrey Bodine in and out.
The leader, Dale Jarrett, and Bill Elliott coming into the pit. Jeff Gordon did not.
Ted Musgrave, Darrell Waltrip, and you're right with Dale
down here, about 15 away.
55 miles an hour.
Down here, about 28. 4 tires.
Ralph Sheen.
Wheel straight, foot on the brake.
The 88 comes in. Mike makes his stop. They go to the right side of the car. They'll work on that side and get ready to switch around to the other side to take on all 4 tires. Crew comes around to the other side. No chassis adjustments here. Everybody's been talking about making air pressure adjustments mostly. They finish off the work on the 88. Ray Evernham and told Jeff Gordon, when the 88 comes in, you stay out for 1 more lap, so that Jeff Gordon should be coming down any time now.
Dick Bergman.
Bill Elliott has come and gone with 4 tires. Mark Martin has also come and gone with not just 4 tires, but a big adjustment in the back of that race car to try to make it handle better. To Ralph.
Dick, here comes the 24, Jeff Gordon down pit road. He's ready, eyeing his pit box. Ray Evernham tells him when to turn the wheel in. They're all set to go. They are planning on taking 4 tires as well here. They had no conversations about chassis adjustments, maybe a minor air adjustment. That's about it. Jeff was a little bit tight, but not really complaining about it. Pretty happy with this race car after they made the changes to the chassis earlier this morning. They're completed. Jeff is back underway. 17-second stop for Jeff Gordon.
16 other cars have been in during this sequence. Who has not stopped? Mr. Gas Mileage himself, Bobby Labonte, last week's winner at Dover by staying out longer. He has yet to make his pit stop. Didn't see Mike Skinner in.
But now Bobby's coming in right now.
So this would be 52 laps for Bobby Labonte. And Ralph Sheen's there. Ralph?
Mike, the 18 of Bobby Labonte making his way down pit road right now. Getting ready to come to a stop. They're going to make a track bar adjustment they had initially talked about doing with this car. They stick the wrench in to do that, and they should be able to make that quick adjustment. And they are also talking about going 1 pound up on the rear tires. They're going to lower the track bar. They do. They take on 4 tires as well, and Bobby Labonte will be heading back out.
Mike Skinner is also in. Skinner does not lead a lap. He came in running second to Bobby Labonte at lap 52. Labonte has now led in 13 of the 14 Winston Cup races this year. There is Mike Skinner completing his stop from Larry McReynolds and crew. And we cycle through the first round of pit stops. We've been caution-free so far at Michigan.
There's a lot of reasons why so many people who take care of their cars turn to AutoZone each week. The low prices on the replacement parts they really need, and the large selection of the things they simply want. But most of all, they come to AutoZone because of the helpful, friendly people who work there. The kind of folks who know their stuff and who'll go the extra mile to help you out. Because after all, taking care of people is what AutoZone is all about.
Crew set. Everybody's ready. Let's go.
Here it comes. Let's hit it.
Rock your way to the fastest finish.
You're good. You're fast. After lunch, we'll do the other side of the street.
Make sure you've got genuine sheetrock. USG Sheetrock brand products. Official marketing partner of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Hey, man, she's here. Check it out. That's something.
There they are.
Which one? You like this one? Easy, then. Easy. How about this little guy? Huh? Yeah. Good choice.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you.
And our race summary after 52 laps, 7 different leaders. Lead changes, they total 12 so far. And it's a record-shattering 174.6 miles an hour. Rusty Wallace holds the record at 166. 127,000 fans here in the grandstand, another 40 in the infield, enjoying one of the best Michigan 400s in history thus far. But there's a long way to go. Let's go back to the booth and Mike Joy. Thanks, Ken. There's the pit stop summary. Bobby Labonte was leading, came back out in 15th position. Some of those other drivers got fresher tires before he finally stopped at lap 52, but he spent 42.1 seconds on the pit lane. Dale Jarrett 41.9. Rusty Wallace was the big gainer in that round of pit stops, came into the pits in 9th place and came out in 6th. Picked up 3 spots with a good quick pit stop.
Good quick pit stop, and the fact that he stopped about 4 or 5 laps quicker than the other leaders, that gave him some time back out on the racetrack with new tires on, which will let you run 3/4 to a second a lap faster.
But the one thing that could do is get him out of sequence as far as if it does come down to gas mileage, he's already in the deficit already as far as stretching fuel.
Yeah, he won't be able to make it on 3 pit stops, where those that went the full 50 laps would be able to.
Wallace stopped at lap 47. Now Dale Jarrett finds himself in a lot of race traffic. He just overlapped number 98, Rick Mast. Joe Nemechek, Dave Blaney's a lap down. So is Kyle Petty, David Green, Darrell Waltrip, Mike Skinner, Derek Cope, Rich Bickle, Ricky Rudd, Chad Little, Brett Bodine, Bobby Hamilton, Elliott Sadler, and Loy Allen. You see on our scoring in the upper left are all 1 lap down. So the lead lap cars now are scattered well through the field. Ken Schrader just made a move around Jeremy Mayfield.
Dale Earnhardt running along with that group. As they turn in, there goes the 6 car. That is the car of Elliott Sadler, exactly. They changed the color on me.
They changed it to blue. Sell more little cars. No, it's for sponsored promotion, but It makes it a little hard to spot from the orange that we're used to.
There's Jeff Burton in the car number 99. He is in the 5th position. Bill Elliott is in 4th position. They're running, Elliott is being shown almost 5 seconds behind Burton, just a little over 5 seconds behind the leader, Dale Jarrett.
Darrell Waltrip there in the 66, already a lap down. Running very well, though. Let me tell you, being a lap down to this group right now is nothing to be ashamed of, because the front group, they're just flying around this racetrack.
And Darrell also has a new crew chief, Felipe Lopez, which left the number 1 team, Steve Hart, now working with Darrell. And they had some really fast practice runs this weekend.
See Mike Skinner there in the 31 car.
Skinner's car appeared to come out of the pits without a lot of steam, and I don't know if what may have happened. Maybe it got over revved somewhere in the pit exchange or something, but Skinner has just not been quite as quick as he was earlier before pit stop.
No, he's being shown a lap down in 34th position right now. I know he came here expecting to run very, very good. Let's go to the pits and Dick Burton.
Well, a lot of people thought Mark Martin was going to be incredibly strong today. After all, 18 of his last 19 starts here at Michigan have been a top 10, and he's got 2 wins in his last 3 starts. But he is having chassis problems today. After taking on the last set of tires, he said the car was super loose. A couple laps later, he called his pit and said, loose in, try it out. They just can't get it right. They're out.
Dick, while the drivers are burning up the tires on the racetrack, the crew members are burning up the pencils and the calculators here in pit road, figuring out the fuel mileage. Just listened in to Todd Parrott talking with Dale Jarrett. They're leading the race, and they are really pleased with their fuel mileage. Even better fuel mileage than they thought they had yesterday. They think they are nice and smooth on the throttle. If they can stay there, they might be able to pull this thing off with fuel mileage as well. Bill Stevens?
Ward Burton in the number 22, very happy after that pit stop. They seem to have corrected the problem in the handling in the back of the car that was making it very loose. And by the way, Ward very motivated to do well today. On the side of that car is the name Kevin Hatcher. That's the 18-year-old son of one of the Burton's best friends back in Virginia. That young man recently died in a traffic accident. Ward has dedicated this race to the Hatcher family this weekend.
Here's a look at Dale Jarrett in the middle of Jimmy Spencer and the 75 of Ted Musgrave. That's pretty good. We all stepped back just a little bit here in the booth when he pulled that.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Bodine, he just got passed by. Right now, Dale Jarrett can go anywhere he wants to as he drops to the bottom there and puts Robert Presley a lap down.
So that will leave us 24 cars on the lead lap here at Michigan. Our Jasper engines and transmissions cam on board with Robert Presley, looking ahead at leader Dale Jarrett.
And Jeff Gordon is beginning to gain a little bit on Jarrett. He was about 2.65 seconds behind. He's now 0.238 seconds, so he's picked up a little bit. I don't know if coming through that traffic had anything to do with it or not, but we'll monitor it here for a few laps. But since they've made their pit stops, he has been hanging right in there.
David Green, the white and green car, drops to the low side. Joe Nemechek battling.
Ward Burton in the 22 there.
That's your 3rd place car.
Now
Just behind him, Bill Elliott. Excuse me, Mike.
Nemechek's 42 is 1 lap down. 22, Burton, and 94, Elliott are on the lead lap, and now Burton makes the pass.
Ward Burton having a great run here today, sitting there in 3rd place. Bill Elliott in 4th. See, he'll pull up behind Nemechek and get a draft, and here comes Jeff Burton.
Yeah, right on the bottom. Right on the white line there. Bill Elliott running a much higher line there. Give it to Jeff as he just starts off the corner.
And Elliott just proved there. You just can't wait for an opportunity. He would have liked to wait for Burton to complete the pass and then go underneath, but he couldn't wait and lose that time, so he had to make it 3 wide and go for the middle.
Yeah, if he had backed off, he'd have lost a second or more.
And he would have lost Burton's draft.
Exactly.
In 1973, this race went caution-free. Only time it's happened is John Andretti battles Dale Earnhardt for 14th place. And the winner of that race is the man who's won more races here than anybody else.
Oh, yeah, Bill Elliott. No question about it.
He's the winningest active driver here.
Active driver.
But that day, David Pearson. The winner, caution-free here at Michigan.
Yeah, I chased him a few times myself right here. Yes.
Everybody did that raced against me.
David had this place wired. Dale Earnhardt, a winner in the International Race of Champions here on Friday. A wild win as he beat his son to the line by 6 inches. And there you see his finishes, though, over the past 5 races here. John Andretti, they've each won a race this year so far. 9 different winners this season. Let's hear Circuit City onboard telemetry now with Wally Dallenbach. You see our tag mirroring that odometer tag of...
Well, that's 8,500, and he is running exactly 200 miles an hour down the front straightaway into turn 1. You see you have a lot of scrub off in the corner. That's because you only have 18 degrees in the corner here, so you have to back out the throttle quite a ways getting in the corner. As you pick it up, you scrubbed off a lot of speed.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that race David Pearson won. Buddy Baker was second.
I knew you were going to say that.
We'll be right back with more of the Kmart Michigan 400 on CBS.
$10 for lunch? I heard of a guy got a brand new car for that.
Sounds like a Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, I swear it's true. This guy was at the track. He sees this notice. It says brand new hot rod, $10.
No, it's not a misprint. Stop by and see for yourself.
Turns out her husband met this little gal at the track, and he ran off to Tahiti with her. And he told his wife to sell the car and send him the money.
No.
Now at Kmart.
We're talking rugged, we're talking fun. You ride the best and the job gets done. Polaris ATVs are made in the USA. We're talking tough.
56. 56. Buy a new Polaris ATV now with payments as low as $56 a month. See your Polaris dealer for details.
Polaris ATVs, we're talking tough.
This is a sport that brings families together. Most of the time, anyway.
You're mine today, buddy. That rooster's crowing a little early this morning, isn't it?
This is a sport where the hearts race every bit as fast as the cars. And this is a sport where some of its biggest fans are some of its smallest. This is NASCAR.
Okay, listen. At hairpin turn 6, keep it at 250 to slingshot you onto the straightaway. We'll see what happens. The loop can get real tricky, so hold your line when you're upside down. And remember, after you hit the jump, ease off the air brake. When you're pulling 5G, handles like a jet.
Race without limits.
Did I mention the oncoming traffic?
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. Ford Country, look at that truck. Ford Country, built Ford tough. Ford Country, when the work gets done. Ford Country, the whole world's Ford Country.
After today's race, shift gears to CBS Sportsline for a complete wrap-up of the Kmart 400. Then join the fan forum to find out if winning is getting tougher on the Winston Cup circuit. Log on to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, it's keyword CBS Sportsline. Waiting for the next round of pit stops. There's a lot to do in between pit stops.
Sterling Marlin goes a lap down. Sterling is running in 22nd position.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip just went a lap down also in the 7 car back in that group.
Johnny Benson a few laps ago.
And Rusty Wallace, who was the big gainer on pit stops up to 6th place, has now fallen to 9th, where he was running prior to the pit stops.
Exactly, and Kenny Wallace there in the 55 going a lap down. So there's some good race cars going a lap down right now in Dale Jarrett.
Next car ahead would be Kevin LePage. 4th place battle. There's Jeff Burton working, Ward Burton. There's Jeff Burton, 99, Bill Elliott, 94.
As they battle each other, Mike, we mentioned a while ago, it's probably been 12, 15 laps ago, that they were 5 seconds behind. Right now, they are about 8 seconds behind the leader.
And Mark Martin just behind them, Ned. Well, I say just behind. He's another 6 seconds back.
Yeah, he's
so
14 seconds.
The green flag pit stops and working the race traffic have really spread the front half dozen now. For more on the race runner-up, Jeff Gordon, here's Ralph.
Mike, as you know, Ray Evernham, the man you see on top of the pit box wearing the sunglasses over my shoulder, is one of the most intelligent crew chiefs in the business. He is also Jeff Gordon's crew chief. Now, one of the reasons why they're so successful is they're aggressive, but they're calculated in their aggression. After this last round of pit stops, Ray took a knife to the tires that came off of Jeff's car and cut them open and looked inside the tire to see how the current setup on the race car is affecting the structure and the integrity of the tires that Jeff Gordon has on the car. They looked all up inside to see how the tires were surviving the stresses that this setup is applying to the tires. They were pleased with what they saw. They radioed to Jeff and said, Jeff, the tires are good. The setup is a good one.
There's been some speculation and even some criticism in recent races. Back to Texas, when we did the race there, you know, Jeff Gordon blew a tire, Mark Martin blew a tire, Mike Skinner blew a tire, and they all hit the wall. And then at Richmond a few weeks ago, there were some problems. And some were saying that maybe they started the air pressure too low. And one thing that happens, if they start the air pressure too low, the damage that's done to the tire is done to the inside very early in the run. In the first 2 or 3 laps, it might not show up for 30 or 40 laps, but it does. The damage has been done early.
You have a look here at the gap from first to second. There is Jeff Gordon behind a race leader, Dale Jarrett. It's 4.3 seconds. There's another look at the distance. And the cars in between.
Well, you could just see the nose of Jeff Gordon coming in there. He's just behind this group.
So he's got a lot of lap traffic to work through.
There it is. Going into turn 1, Johnny Benson in 26 just in front of him.
And Jarrett's pulling away. In that last lap, he picked up another 10th. For an update on the Burton brothers running 3rd and 4th, Dick Berggren.
And Ward Burton is the Burton brother that is running in 3rd spot right now. He's got a good race car here. This is the same car he had to win the pole for this same event last year. It led 6 laps in that race. Those are the only laps he has ever led here. Tommy Baldwin said that they hit on something at Texas back in March, and they plugged that into this fine race car. And he also just radioed to his driver and told him, man, you got a rocket ship of an engine. Well, let's watch Ward Burton today. Everything seems to be clicking. To Bill Stevens.
Frank Stoddard is the crew chief for brother Jeff Burton. You made an air pressure adjustment in the last pit stop. Has that corrected the tightness in the car?
No, we're still a little bit too tight. We had a pretty good pit stop, but we got held up coming off pit road, and that's got us behind a little bit. We need another pit stop here in about 25 laps here to make a good adjustment on it and go after this thing. The car's not bad, but just not good enough to run with the 88 right now.
And hopefully they won't hit a traffic jam the next time they get out of the pit.
Well, what's going to be interesting is when Jeff Burton catches his brother. The last time that happened, about 35 laps ago, Jeff Burton went underneath Ward and took off. Ward radioed his crew, and he says, I thought brothers were supposed to work together.
Yeah, right.
So I'll bet there's been some communication, and let's see what happens this time if Jeff, who is right now 1.6 seconds behind his brother, is able to catch Ward and overhaul him, if he can help tow Ward to the front.
Nah, I tell you, he's got to catch him first, but they don't work very well together. They race each other like the Allisons used to. The Allisons used to race each other harder than they did anyone else.
79 of 200 laps, coming up on 160 miles this time by. Of the 400 we'll run today, there's Dale Jarrett, your leader, now by 4.7 seconds. Ward Burton, 8.2 seconds back. Jeff Burton, 10 seconds. And Bill Elliott closing up on Jeff Burton, the 5th place car.
Well, we're watching these cars really go at it around the racetrack here. Let's talk about air pressure just for a second. You drop the air pressure about 7 pounds. As it builds up, you get back to the recommended situation. That's why they lower the air pressure, trying to get better grip out of the tires, because as you put heat into the tire, it will get a little bit harder, and every pound in that tire is equivalent to 50 pounds of spring ratio.
Just another of the tuning tools that the teams have it available to them on pit road. Dale Earnhardt leading Tony Stewart for 14th place. Now they are 30 seconds behind the race leaders, so they're going to have to work to keep from going a lap down in the next 15 or so circuits with the pace that Dale Jarrett is setting. Dale Jarrett leads Jeff Gordon, the Burton brothers, Bill Elliott, and Mark Martin at Michigan on CBS Sports.
Life in the Outback isn't all fun and games. After all, sometimes we have to eat.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
For Dan and Lisa, it just clicked. So they loaded up their Ford Expedition and got back to doing what they loved. Answering the call of the wild.
I lost them.
And they unleashed a beast of their own. That big 5.4-liter Triton V8. And you thought Little Red Riding Hood got a close look. Ford Expedition. Built Ford tough.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere in America. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go drive. Use Pennzoil. Formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
You have your weekend projects. We have ours.
If it came as a surprise that he blamed his psychiatrist for the 2 murders he committed, the real surprise was that a jury bought it. 60 Minutes tonight.
Monday on CBS. If you're tired of laughing at your own family, try laughing at his. Kevin James stars with Jerry Stiller in The King of Queens. Monday on CBS. Next Saturday, it all comes down to one shot for all the glory in the championship game of the 1999 NCAA College World Series, live from Omaha at 12:30 Eastern here on CBS. Welcome back to the Kmart Michigan 400. Mike Joy with Ned Jarrett and Buddy Baker. 85 laps, 170 of the 400 miles are complete. Dale Jarrett leads Jeff Gordon, the point leader, ahead of the defending champion, and Ward Burton's Pontiac in third. Jeff Burton has not been able to gain any ground on his brother. He is fourth. Bill Elliott's fifth. Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, Steve Park, Rusty Wallace, and Ken Schrader are the top 10. And now, only 17 cars on the lead lap. We have been caution-free, and look at the lead Dale Jarrett has built up.
Boy, that's tough when you're running second and you feel like you're doing a pretty good job, and all you do is see that guy going away leading the race. That's tough on you.
Good on the dad. But next Sunday's Father's Day.
Yeah, it's not Father's Day yet. 6.2 seconds now, first to second. 9 seconds, first to third. Jeff Burton, 11.4 seconds off the lead. Terry Labonte has gone a lap down. He took a provisional starting spot here. Wally Dallenbach, Sterling Marlin, Johnny Benson.
Well, Terry Labonte, you mentioned him, Mike. He started back in 37th position with that provisional, but he's running in 18th place, so he's made a lot of progress.
Yes. Well, last 5 races for Dale Jarrett include a win at Richmond. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, Todd Barrett is the crew chief for Dale Jarrett. He climbs down off the box. Todd, you got a pretty good run on that first round of pit stops. Are you pleased with the gas mileage?
Yeah, the gas mileage seems to be good right now. The car seems to be good. It's starting to get a little bit tight up off the corner, but all in all, started the race, I was kind of concerned. Went back to about 11th or 12th. Car got real loose on him, but I guess that's what you got to be here to be fast, you know, so the car doesn't get tight at the end of a long run. So right now, everything seems to be going good, but still got a long way to go.
All right, good luck to you, Todd. Dick Berggren?
Bill Elliott is having a terrific run today, currently in the 5th position. His brother Ernie builds the engines. He is looking on. How is it this thing is running so well today, Ernie?
Well, we've made a lot of changes this year, Dick. You know, we feel like they were positive changes, and it's just taking a while to initiate them. And looks like we're getting positive results from it.
He sure is, and right now, although he's in 5th spot, he says there's more speed in that car. He's going to try to change his line a little bit. He says the car runs better when it's leading, so he's going to try to pass some cars.
Bill Elliott said earlier this week, back in the mid-'80s, in '85, when he won all those races, he had to be Jeff Gordon and Ray Evernham combined. He was the crew chief and the driver. But as the sport grew and the more demands are put on a driver's time, you just can't fill both those roles. And the sport has changed. The Elliott team has done a good job of adapting. But things are quite different than they were in 1985. He used to drive for Harry Melling, who owns that number 9 car. Jerry Nadeau is the driver this year. Harry Melling passed away from a heart attack just a couple of weeks ago, and that car was blue. It's been repainted in Melling red. Benny Parsons tipped Harry Melling to Bill Elliott, and there is the legend on the back of the number 9 today. Harry will miss you, from that team. It was Parsons who suggested Melling sponsor a young Georgia boy named Bill Elliott. Bill and Ernie went up to meet with him, and Bill said he hardly did any of the talking. And the money they got to run 12 races in 1986, about what Bill Elliott gets for 2 two-hour autograph sessions today. But they did well enough that Melling, who was trying to promote his own line of oil pumps and gears, ended up falling in love with the Elliott's and with racing, bought Bill Elliott's father's part of the team, and helped lead them to all those wins in a Winston Cup championship.
Yeah, talking about Harry Melling, he was on the side of a race car for 34 wins, so he had a good career with the ownership of cars.
And the Winston Cup, 1988 with Elliott. Best battle on the racetrack right now is Jeremy Mayfield chasing Kenny Schrader for 10th. And right behind them is Ernie Irvin in 11th, the outside pole sitter in that yellow Pontiac. 11th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
They're running about 32 seconds behind the leader, and they're running good.
Yeah, John Andretti in the 43 there with the Petty car.
And Tony Stewart. Dale Earnhardt behind them.
Tony Stewart has the right front corner that's beat up on that car. It happened about lap 12 or 15, right along in that area there. You can see the right front corner of that car is not as aerodynamic as you'd like it. It's pushed back towards the right front wheel.
So 91 laps are complete. We're coming up on halfway. Dale Jarrett has a 7-second lead. CBS Sports coverage continues after this message and a word from your local station.
On any road, in any kind of weather, you can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire. But not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear Aqua Steel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. Aqua Steel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
Styling of the new Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering, make sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
The address is CVS.
Welcome home. Millions of Americans turn to one drama for inspiration.
I promise to help you get through this day.
Have you been touched by an angel?
I'd like to make peace with you.
Then,
A meeting.
Janie has Gordon.
A touch.
Two blind people need more than love to live on.
A lifetime.
in a world that couldn't understand them,
How's a blind man gonna build a house?
One brick at a time.
a man and a woman saw a future for themselves. Richard Thomas, Annabeth Gish, What Love Sees, CBS Tonight.
Hello? Yeah. I got your report. Thanks so much. Mr. Platinum?
Hey, he's on vacation.
Eye on Health, only on KYW3 Eyewitness News.
CBS
Motorsports presentation of the 1999 Kmart Michigan 400 is sponsored by Route 66. Jeans, clothes, it's not Main Street, only at Kmart, Budweiser, and by Goodyear.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, it came as no surprise that he blamed a psychiatrist for the murders he committed. The real surprise is the jury bought it. Tonight on 60 Minutes. Here on 60 Seconds on pit road, Rusty Wallace is in. Bill Stevens.
He is in, and already half of their service is done. They're going 4 tires all around. There'll be no wedge adjustment. They'll fill it with fuel. Remember, on the last pit stop, Mike, he picked up 3 positions. They are hoping to do at least that well this time. Rusty is out and away.
Now, his teammate Jeremy Mayfield in at the same time, but will not get off pit road as quickly. Rick Mast is in. Robert Presley making stops. David Green and Ricky Rudd were in 2 laps ago. As early, Rich Bickle is also in.
And most of these drivers did stop short of the 50 lap mark, which would be the 100-mile mark a little bit earlier. So they've run almost 100 miles again since they made their pit stops.
See all the different signboards there. That's how you find your pits there. When you're coming in, even though it is reduced speed, just imagine looking down there and not knowing where to go into the pit.
Elliott Sadler and Dave Blaney are in, and we expect the leader, Dale Jarrett, in about 5 laps, lap 102 or 103.
There's a $10,000 bonus. Here's Ricky Rudd going around the leader. Ricky was in, as you mentioned, not too long ago. So with those new tires on, he's running faster.
Battle for 9th place. Kenny Schrader on the bottom. Ernie Irvin is with him. Here comes John Andretti shooting the gap right through the middle.
Tony Stewart. Yeah, about 4 or 5 cars. They're really going at it. Dale Earnhardt is coming in. He had just gone a lap down. He's coming into the pits.
See Kenny Schrader pulling over to the inside there, going back and forth. Yep. I'd say he's out of fuel.
He's going to pit. On the last round of stops, Schrader was in at lap 49, so it'll be close to schedule for Schrader.
Mike, when they whip him back and forth like that, the pickup's not getting enough fuel, and he felt it. He started wiggling it around so the pickup would pick up enough to get in the pit.
Ernie Irvin, the yellow car, and in green, Ken Schrader will make their 2nd stop of the day. We have not had a caution flag here at Michigan. This race could well be run in record time. Dick Berggren.
Kenny Schrader on his way in again, wiggling it back and forth. You're right, that usually means he's out of fuel, but the engine was running when he got here. Now, running out of fuel does a couple of things. One of the worst is you can burn a piston. That can cost an engine a little bit later on in the race. Schrader doesn't seem to have that problem. The engine sounds just fine. It's going to be a 4-tire stop with fuel. There he goes, and it's a 17.91 second stop, and everybody on pit road is getting ready. It's about to get real busy down here, Mike.
Derek Cope has been in halfway. The sign this time for Dale Jarrett to pick up that bonus money for leading the halfway lap. Roy Allen was in big shakeup in that team. Ricky Craven, the driver, let go. Stan Meserve, the Oxford Plains Speedway champion, also let go as shop manager, and Roy Allen has stepped in. Ward Burton on the pit lane. Dick Berggren.
Here comes Ward Burton. He has been a contender all day long in the Caterpillar car. They are not going to change anything significant on the car other than put 4 tires on it and gas. They are delighted with the way it's running, even though Burton says it's got just a little bit of a push. That's Tommy Baldwin on the rear end. He's not only the rear tire changer, he's also the country. He's the last one that he does. Great stop, 16.21.
Tony Stewart getting a stop as well. He had climbed up into the top 20. You see that damage to the right front fender. They will change the tires. Let's see if they work to pull that away. They don't. They go around to the left side to change tires there.
Yeah, he's got damage on the right front and the right rear corner of that car.
A little casual contact. Now, interestingly, Ricky Rudd, who had pitted earlier as Mark Martin comes in now. Mark Martin and Steve Park both pitting at the same time. Ricky Rudd has now dropped behind Dale Jarrett, and they draft along perhaps to save Jarrett a little fuel. Here's Dick.
And Mark Martin is in, and you know what? All those chassis problems he was having, they went away. By the time he got to the end of that run, the car was absolutely perfect. So he drove around looking for different lines, had the crew clock it to try and see which of them was fastest. 4 tires, that'll change everything. A stop in 16.2 seconds. Great stop for Mark Martin.
Kenny Irwin, Kevin LePage are in. Jeff Burton and Bill Elliott come in, running in 3rd and 4th place.
With the leader's going to come in this time, Mike, as he comes off the turn 4, he dips down to the inside of the racetrack.
Bill Stevens.
Jeff Burton is in. just a few moments ago on the radio. His crew chief, Frank Stoddard, said, Jeff, let's make the big change. They're going down a couple of more pounds on the right front tire pressure. They're going to make another adjustment on the left side of the car with tire pressure. They have the fuel in, 4 tires, and he's out.
All right, here's the big move of the day. Can Dale Jarrett's crew send that car out of the pit as good as it was running when it came in? Ralph?
300 RPM is what they have to do down the pit road. They clean the windshield. They will take on 4 tires. They are not planning on making any chassis adjustments to the car. Brad Jarrett works the left rears. He's already getting that one set to go now, and Kevin Stimbarris goes to work on the front. Jeff Burton is in as well, making his change. Dale Jarrett is out. They go to work on Gordon's car. They're to the left side as well. They'll take a rubber out of the left rear on the 24 car. Jeff really guns the gas, and he is underway.
Now, this time, Bobby Labonte did not wait those 2 extra laps. He came in on the same lap as Jarrett and Gordon. The reason? Not to let those cars get out with fresh tires and run faster than he could before he came in. So here's Bobby Labonte completing his stop.
And, of course, as you pointed out, they did it that first time, so he'd get 5 bonus points for leading a lap.
And they also said they took a spacer out of the left rear, a rubber spacer that goes in between the springs on Jeff Gordon. What that did is take some of the forward bite out of the car so it turned better.
Mike Skinner in for a stop. He had lost a lap just after the first pit stop. Johnny Benson is away after 4 tires on his Jack Roush Ford. Chad Little is in. And the hood is up on Robert Presley. That's a long stop for Presley. Jeffrey Bodine also getting service, and there's a look from Robert Presley's roof cam. Jasper Engines and Transmissions cam, and now you see a lot of looking and wondering, and it's questionable if Presley can get back out into this race. We have not put a car in the garage as yet. Dick?
Well, the 77 of Robert Presley is getting a drink of water. They are pressurizing some water into that automobile, obviously having a bit of an overheating problem. In fact, there's water behind the car where the overflow has put it on pit road. Presley overheating today at the Kmart 400 in Michigan.
So pit stops have cycled through for the 2nd time, and we have not yet had a caution flag in the Kmart Michigan 400. Dale Jarrett, the leader.
Terrific wedding, you son of a gun.
Thanks. It's just so great to see you. I couldn't wait to get here.
Whoa. I'm so choked up. I don't know what to say.
May your mother be blessed forever.
You're making a lot of people very happy.
Very happy. Wow. You're the joy sharer. You're the sharer of joy. Well, thank you. Would you like a glass with that?
Bartender?
I'll be right back.
Let me tell you about the best traffic report in town, brought to you by QXRT's Barb and Bill.
Woo! It's a scorcher out there. I hope none of you are trying to get anywhere soon. From up here, it looks like a little backup heading downtown.
These guys have the ultimate view.
This is Barb and Bill, the QXRT traffic team, signing out. Once again, our Explorer saves the day.
Yeah, glad we're not down in that mess.
And just think of the money they saved on a helicopter. The new Ford Explorer, built Ford tough.
Where'd you get the club? Accounting. County gave you a club?
Yeah, I made him a deal.
Deal?
Whenever my cell bills are half as much as yours, they give me a club.
Aren't you on the phone all the time?
Yeah, but I have Nextel. My calls are rounded to the second. I pay less.
That's not fair. I want to be rounded to the second. I want clubs.
Wait till I get my putter.
Giving you a putter?
Nextel's 1 second rounding makes ordinary cell phones seem ordinary.
You know, this place reminds me of a guy I knew named Julius. Another Darrell Waltrip story. Oh, really. This guy, he was in the junkyard one day, kicking around, and he found a rocket booster. So he says, I'm going to set myself a land speed record. Now, he got that thing up to speed. He hit the switch. He took off into outer space.
So whatever happened to him?
He came down out here somewhere.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Now, Kmart.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Kmart, where NASCAR fans race for savings.
In
the Kmart 400 after 106 laps, just past halfway, at 7 leaders, 12 lead changes, and they're racing for a record today, averaging 173 miles an hour, no cautions, when Rusty Wallace set the record. In 1996, there were 2 cautions for debris on the track. They lasted just 8 laps, but it's been all green flag racing all day, and this is the man they're chasing, Dale Jarrett in the number 88. Mike Joy.
Ken, that cycle of pit stops has put a number of other cars 1 lap down, including Kenny Schrader, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt. Dale Jarrett came in first and is now first. Not much change, no change in the top 5, and you see the pit road times. Among those leaders, Ward Burton was the quickest up and down pit road.
Let's explain. That's coming in the pit road and going out the other end. That's not the pit stops themselves. They're in the 14-second bracket.
Darrell Waltrip has led 33 races here at Michigan International Speedway. He has won a couple. And now comes in Sterling Marlin, waited until lap 106 to make his second pit stop of the day. Chassis change for Waltrip, who was in at lap 98, so that was only 12 laps ago.
So this is an unscheduled pit stop here. Darrell gets the service and goes back out.
So then it leaves us with 12 cars on the lead lap.
And 12 cars right in front of him.
And Kenny Irwin, yeah, the outside pole man for this race is about to go a lap down in the 36 car there as they go down the back straightaway. If you had to have a perfect car, I'd say that Dale Jarrett has it.
Oh, it's been very, very strong. Ernie Irvin.
Look at the gap between he and Jeff Gordon now, 8.6 seconds. And none of that gained on pit road. His pit road time, total time on pit road, was almost a second slower than Gordon, so that car has just been a rocket on the racetrack.
Well, it has been, even though Gordon has closed it up about a second since they came out of the pits. He was about 9.5 seconds behind then. He's only 8.6 seconds behind now. But we saw that before. On new tires, Gordon's car seemed to be a little bit faster.
And the difference was a quicker pit stop by Jeff Gordon. So now we'll see if Jarrett can expand on his 8.4-second lead, but it's going to be tough when he's trying to put cars 1 lap down.
Exactly, like John Andretti there in the 43 right now. He does not want to go a lap down, and he's going to fight as hard as he can, but hey, how do you fight this? He just turns left and goes right by him in the middle of the corner.
That's the 11th place car. Martinsville winner John Andretti driving for Richard Petty.
That was Bob Jeffrey, Jarrett's spotter. You heard say clear high.
Yeah, and they call you and they say the leader's coming, and like you're not trying or something.
Ralph?
Mike, the car of Dale Jarrett has been fantastic all day long, but this pit stop, they had a set of tires on the car that Dale Lazario radioed in and said, I think this set's a little bit tight. We might be in a bit of a problem here. The crew has just told them to keep digging. They'll see what happens. Sometimes when you put the tires on, they will eventually change, or the track will come to them. The handling of the car will get better. So we'll have to wait and see if these tires stay tight or if they loosen up a little bit.
Well, you know, you're exactly right, because the interval was almost 9.5 seconds, and Jeff Gordon right now is only 8 seconds back now.
And if the car is tight this early after a pit stop, Dale knows that it'll get tighter as he goes on, so that's not good.
Look at the interval. You saw Dale Jarrett, and now you see Jeff Gordon. You see how long around this racetrack 8.4 seconds is to make up.
Well, they're running about between 40 and 40 and a half seconds. So that means that Jeff is about a fifth of a lap behind. There it is.
About the length of the back straightaway. Ward Burton, 3 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
And you saw Robert Presby's car there right behind Jeff Gordon. So Robert did get whatever was wrong repaired. He's back out on the track, but he is 7 laps down. So all 43 cars still running.
For 13th place, best race on the track, Kenny Schrader, Tony Stewart, couple of ex-open wheelers going at it here.
Tony Stewart right on the bottom. Kenny Schrader, you see, the top car gets so much better run up off the corner because he's not binding the car up, getting in the center part of the corner.
Has a look under Ernie Irvin, 36.
And that would be for position.
And back up front with Dale Jarrett. He sweeps off the 4th corner, and the next car that he would catch would be Rich Bickle, who was shown as 2 laps down.
Yeah, he would be 3 laps down if DJ passed him again. Rich is being shown in the 31st position.
Ernie Irvin going to the bottom. John Andretti's car is not turning at all, getting in the corner, but he gets great drive down the straightaway. As you can see, John Andretti has a better run off the corner. But Ernie Irvin, he'll stay right there battling from here on.
Jimmy Spencer behind them. Now Spencer is 2 laps down. These cars are 1 lap down.
And that is the 11th and 12th position.
John Andretti's way up there in the Harry Gant crew, Ted.
His high.
Here's our Circuit City telemetry. On board with Kevin LePage alongside Kyle Petty.
About 6,900 there in the center part of the corner. Now he's accelerating towards the straightaway. You can see the RPMs will really jump up there. 180 miles and 190. About 8,500 down the straightaway. And right at 200 as he goes into the corner. They scrub off down to about 155 miles an hour in the middle part of the corner.
One of the most impressive stories here, as far as I'm concerned, is watching this Bill Elliott staying right here in 5th, where he's been for almost 100 miles. He has done so well here the last 2 years, and he's had a 2nd and he's had a 6th. He's continued to sustain his run from this event when Ernie Irvin was right behind him, and it looks like he's in for another tremendous day. He just loves these wide, sweeping corners, and he's taking such advantage of it here. Let's go to Dick Bergman.
Mark Martin has a problem with his race car. He is making an unscheduled pit stop. Apparently, vibration in the left front corner of the car. They are ready to put 4 tires on it. That generally solves that problem. This guy's had 2 DNFs this year. He does not need any more problems. They are doing left side tires only on lap 118 for Mark Martin. One of the contenders to win today. He's gone.
Dickey was in just 17 laps ago, so that is going to cost him a lap. He was running 7th on the lead lap. He will drop off the lead lap with that stop. So a tough break for last year's winner of the Kmart 400.
Well, one thing about a race car, when it's vibrating, it's not going to get better. It's best to come in, have it fixed, and go back out.
He did the smart thing.
Also, Jimmy Spencer made an unscheduled pit stop in Travis Carter's Ford. They lifted the hood, made some repairs, and now send Spencer back out on the racetrack.
He is
coming
in
up.
40th position.
Thanks, Ted. Coming up on 120 laps, 240 miles in the Kmart Michigan 400. We'll be right back with you live on CBS.
You know, a man can be judged by more than just who he is. And today, the jury is out at 211 Vine Street.
Jewelry from? Guess who I saw last night? Who? Billy. That man is fine. Too fine. And that car is hot. Inside that car is hot. It's ruby red. I know that man in his Mustang. I look good in that car. Billy! I look good in that car.
Keep driving, Billy. Keep driving. The new 1999 Ford Mustang, built to last.
While these 2 trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance friction carbon metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Welcome to the NASCAR Busch Series. It's a combination of raw speed and nose to nose, bumper to bumper, door to door competition. It takes a great driver to win here. Always has, always will. The NASCAR Busch Series. This is NASCAR.
Eagle One wet car polish provides a rich, deep shine. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use Eagle One products?
You always want to look your best.
Eagle One, are you ready for the attention? Free Hot Wheels with every purchase of Eagle One wet polish and wax while supplies last.
So close.
That's the 1999 Remington Microscreen 3. With our most powerful motor, more cutting edges than any leading shaver, and 3 flexing microscreens, you'll say no electric shaves you closer, faster, or your money back. The Remington Microscreen 3.
Who are the greatest screen legends? Will your favorites make the list?
He's looking at you, kid.
Find out on the all-new AFI special, CBS Tuesday.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, it came as no surprise he blamed a psychiatrist for the murders he committed. The real surprise is the jury bought it. That's tonight on CBS, followed by Touched by an Angel, Then the CBS Sunday movie What Love Sees, starring Richard Thomas and Annabeth Gish, tonight on CBS. Welcome back to the Kmart Michigan 400, where Dale Jarrett leads Jeff Burton. The rest of this field now just about 10 cars left on the lead lap. Welcome back, Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Ned Jarrett. Buddy, what do you do to catch Dale Jarrett?
Well, a pair wouldn't hurt, but I would be talking to my crew chief right now saying we have to do something to make our car better than Dale Jarrett. And believe me, there's adjustments that people will make near the end of the race that may take them up there to Dale Jarrett, but they better get working on it.
Ned, he just lapped Jeremy Mayfield, the 9th place car. I know he's making you proud as his dad, but come on.
Stepping up the race, isn't he?
He's flying.
Yes, he is. He has it hooked up. And so far this year, they have been criticized for not leading a lot of laps. Not necessarily criticized, but say what's happened to them. They're not leading as much as they used to. Well, he's taking care of that today, and it's a matter of just really having the chassis worked out perfect. Everybody knows that Robert Yates builds great engines, and so they just have the chassis worked out and allows them to run up front.
Right, let's check with Dick Berggren.
Well, we found out where the vibration was from in Mark Martin's car, and it should repeat right here. The lug nuts weren't exactly tight on that left rear tire. Wheel loosened up a little bit. That caused the vibration. On the pit stop, rear tire carrier, Darrell Morrow, was run over by the race car. The medics have been here. He has waved off all medical attention. As far as he's concerned, he's going to keep working on the race car. He's not hurt. He's a racer.
That's too bad. I hope everything is okay, but boy, that's scary when you see a man go down like that.
Yeah, these guys are great athletes, but when you get your foot run over, that does hurt.
Hey, we're talking about what you do to catch Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon's doing it.
Yeah, a few laps ago it was 9.1 seconds. Last lap it was 6.8. Now it's 6.6, Ned.
Well, they said he wasn't just exactly right, the 88 car Dale Jarrett, and this is proving it. I mean, Gordon is pulling down on him just a little bit.
Said that last set of tires that he got on was a little bit tight, and he knew that just after they put them on. And as we mentioned earlier, normally the longer they run, the tighter it'll get if it has a tight condition to begin with.
Best race on the track right now is again the 36 and 43, Ernie Irvin and John Andretti now for 10th place.
Yeah, that has reversed. Finally, Ernie Irvin gets by him in the 36 there. John Andretti in the 43 was in front when we went away to break just a second ago.
There are 8 cars on the lead lap. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, the Burton brothers, Bill Elliott, Bobby Labonte, and surprising Steve Park. Ralph?
Now, Mike, Paul Andrews is a crew chief of Steve Park. Paul, you got your driver in contention once again. How is your car and what is your situation?
Well, leader's really bearing down on us. That's the big situation right now. The leader's real good. Our car's real good. We've been a little snug. It's dragging as the race goes on, but we're really happy with where we are. We definitely can improve from this.
Mike, they've got 3 members down here who have all been crew chiefs before. Steve Neal, Dave Charpentier, and of course Paul Andrews. Quite a brain trust helping out Steve Park.
Park looking for his first career top 10 finish. He has 1 lead lap finish this year, 12th at Darlington. His best career finish, 11th at Dover and Michigan in last year, his rookie season.
Yeah, last year he ran most of the year, though, injured and was out of about 13 races. So it's good to see Steve Park back. And also, his crew chief was taught by one of the greatest people in racing, I feel like, the late Alan Kwiecki.
Jeff Gordon now coming up on Ernie Irvin, who drops low on the racetrack to make a move to the outside or inside of Rich Bickle, number 45. Bickle several laps down.
Even back there, though, they're trying to stay in some kind of semblance of, you see Jeff Gordon down the straightaway. This car is really, really fast down the back straightaway.
So Gordon's got to pick his way through. He had cut down to 6.9 seconds on the race leader. Tuesday on CBS, why is Jag the fastest growing drama on television? It's not just a show, it's an adventure. Don't miss Jag. Tuesday on CBS, 8 p.m. Well, now Gordon looks to the high side to get around Irvin, and that gives Irvin a little distance on John Andretti.
Yeah, but while he was working with those lap cars there, he lost a second to Dale Jarrett being hooked up with the lap traffic there.
None of the top 4 drivers in this race have ever won this race. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, Jeff or Ward Burton. A lot more NASCAR racing this season on CBS. Of course, we'll be in Daytona the 3rd of July under the lights, and we're going to go trucking for 3 straight weekends. The Milwaukee 200, Saturday, July 3rd. The Federated Auto Parts 250 from Nashville, Saturday, July 10th. And Sunday, July 18th, we'll have a Napa Auto Care 200, Nazareth, Pennsylvania, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Great racing, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of excitement, and another thriller this weekend.
They had a good race in Texas on Friday night. Dennis Setzer won his first race of the year in a Dodge. And the Mopars are right in the thick of it this year.
And hi to our buddy Rick Corelli on the mend, a longtime Craftsman Truck Series driver.
Let's watch Dallenbach go down the back straightaway. You can see him coming off turn 2 right now, side by side. Starts to accelerate. 8,000, 84, 8,500, almost 8,600, and 200 miles an hour. That's the common speed for all these cars, no matter where they're running in the field. 200 miles an hour down the straightaway.
Dallenbach's in 18th position, 2 laps off the lead. 132 laps complete in the Kmart 400 at Michigan. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
What's that?
They gave the ferret a teleprompter.
Teleprompter? Well, I guess he can't memorize his lines, huh?
Memorize his lines. The guy's a door jammer. I don't know why they give him so much slack.
Well, that's because he's got a good look.
A good look?
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a little European filmmaker.
I had a good look.
Louis, no lizard has a good look.
What are you talking about?
We're not a good-looking species.
We're not. You have no pride, Frank.
I simply know my limitations.
I am classically chiseled.
We're here at a NASCAR race to take a survey. First question, does anyone sell as many high-quality auto parts as Napa? That'd be a no. Does anyone sell more hard-to-find parts than Napa? No again. Does anyone have as many ASE-certified employees? Last question, would you like to get paid for this survey? Just checking. Napa, over 200,000 parts, and everyone's important.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
You have a feeling it's your transmission, but you're not sure. You want to ask someone, but you don't know who. At AMCO, they've been answering transmission questions for as long as they've been fixing them. That's over 35 years. What's that noise? What does that drip mean? Is it even my transmission? It's all very good questions. Call the experts at AMCO and get some very good answers. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO, AA-MCO.
As a reporter, I get to explore issues that matter to you and me. Eye on Education reports are a natural. I know the challenges of being a teacher. I've been there. We hear a lot of negative news about our schools. I think there needs to be a balance. We'll go inside the classroom. We'll explore innovations in teaching to see what's working and what's not.
Eye on Education, only on KYW3 Eyewitness News. Real people, real news. Can you believe it? Only on KYW3 Eyewitness News.
CBS Sports presentation of the 1999 Kmart Michigan 400 is sponsored by Eagle One, Lawn Boy, and by AutoZone.
Welcome back to Michigan. Storm clouds on the horizon. There is track chief Roger Penske. He's Penske Corp. Owns this, the California, the Nazareth Speedway, and other motorsports holdings. He is also a race day spotter for Rusty Wallace. That's why he's got that headset on. Dale Jarrett, the leader at 137 laps. Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, Ward Burton, Bill Elliott, Bobby Labonte, Steve Park, and Rusty Wallace are the lead lap cars. And these two just keep going at it.
Pair of Pontiacs. Ernie Irvin in the car number 36, the yellow car, and John Andretti in the blue number 43.
This time it's for 11th place. They are 1 lap down.
Well, so far it looks like it's 88's race to win for Dale Jarrett as he continues his efforts up in front. But let's not forget that Michigan is traditionally a fuel mileage track. Remember 96 when it gave Rusty Wallace that win, or for that matter 94 when he won it on fumes. Right now it's all Dale Jarrett, but this is a race of the unexpected, the unpredictable, the intangibles, and we'll just have to wait and see. probably the biggest battle now is, will it be a record? Will we end it a little prematurely because of weather that's coming in? A lot of questions here in these final moments of this Kmart 400.
Ken Rusty Wallace, who held that record, is now just about 4 seconds from going off the lead lap. Dale Jarrett closing in on him, about 3.5 to 4 seconds away, and Wallace is one of the good cars here.
Yeah, that was a great shot that showed the inside of the 88 car, and you could see Jarrett moving his right leg around. That's kind of giving him a massage there with that side rest there. You hold your foot down so long, it feels good just to rest it every once in a while.
Now here's Wallace on the right side of your screen, car number 2, just moving past Bobby Hamilton, who's had a really tough day. He's 3 laps down in the 4 car. There is Rusty, and he has got to put it as far to the floor as it'll go because Jarrett's coming. Kenny Wallace, the 55, just ahead. Have a look back for our race leader. There's Wallace.
He's in some traffic back there, Mike. About 4 seconds behind.
About 4 seconds back, and Rusty, he certainly does not want to go a lap down. Running in 8th place, but hey, listen, right now, the way Jarrett's running, he runs up, low, passes cars. He's not having any problem.
Let's check with Dick Bergman.
Well, so far this year, the races have averaged almost 6 cautions per event. We haven't had any yet today, Jack Roush. You got 5 cars in this thing. How does this long green flag stuff affect your strategy?
You know, the race is going pretty much as we expected. 200 laps. Everybody's got their cars tuned up for at least 50 laps. They hope to be able to go in 3 stops. Our cars can go from 52 to 56 laps. That was all going to be fine. We had a wheel come loose on Mark's car. He had to come in 20 laps, 18 laps into the second fuel stop. So we're hoping to get a yellow here between the lap 150 and 170 if we can. He can make that up. All the other cars can go on 3 stops, and about 2/3 of the field can do that. It's a typical Michigan race.
It is indeed. A Darrell Morrow, who was injured on that stop, got hit by the lug wrench. He says he's okay, but boy, has he got a limp. To Ralph.
Dick, Robert Yates is a man that owns the cars of Kenny Irwin and our race leader, Dale Jarrett. He also was involved with a race that took place over the last 24 hours, the 24 hours of Le Mans that was contested in Le Mans, France. How did he do that? Well, he built the engines for the Panos entries, which finished 7th and 11th. In fact, the car that ran 7th was up contesting for the win before a transmission problem, and Robert had nothing to do with the transmission. Now, why did he have engines over there? Well, he is working on working the Ford NASCAR cylinder heads onto the engines that the Panos will run in endurance competition. He plans on learning more about horsepower and fuel mileage, which he can then incorporate into his NASCAR program.
Quite a lot of NASCAR technology working its way into other racing series. 142 laps. This is the leader, Dale Jarrett, over Jeff Gordon, the Burton brothers, and Bill Elliott. You're watching NASCAR Winston Cup Racing live on CBS Sports.
My cousin knew this guy who drove a cement truck. This dude was as jealous as they come, right? So he decides to go home and check on his wife. But when he drives up, he sees his classic car in the driveway and some guy in his kitchen. No, really. So he backs up his truck, full load of wet mix right down the chute. But the real surprise was...
Honey, this is the car dealer. He just dropped off your birthday present. Surprise.
Get your key.
Dang it, Dan!
On Route 66.
Now at Kmart.
Bobby and Henry had the battle lines drawn.
Chill out, you guys.
Luckily, Mom had a redesigned Ford Windstar with options like new dual remote power doors, a see-all, know-all mirror,
Henry reached over. Boys, calm down.
and a new reverse sensing system.
The garbage can. On his side. Or not. Anybody feed the dog? That's his house.
Ah, brotherly love. The new Ford Windstar, built to last.
Eagle One wet car polish provides a rich, deep shine. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use Eagle One products?
You always want to look your best.
Eagle One, are you ready for the attention? Free Hot Wheels with every purchase of Eagle One wet polish and wax while supplies last.
You know, these days lots of deodorants are talking antibacterial protection. It's not about that at all. It's about whose deodorant lasts longer. High endurance. Old Spice guarantees it. If you want odor protection that really lasts, High endurance exceeds the need.
On any road, in any kind of weather. You can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire, but not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear Aqua Steel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. Aqua Steel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Goodyear, innovators of run flat technology.
Moving in on 3/4 of the race complete. And take a look at this, 174 mile an hour average, way over the 166 that Rusty Wallace set. But the most interesting statistic of all is no one has dropped out. 43 cars started, 43 still running. Robert Presley is on the tail end of the race, 10 laps down, but at this record-breaking pace, no engines are breaking. This is an amazing story of these Winston Cup cars. Back to Mike Joy.
Ken, it's going to be a long way for somebody to run to just get 40 Winston Cup points. Now, while we were away, Rusty Wallace and Jeremy Mayfield made pit stops, so Wallace falls off the lead lap. And Dick Berggren, can Rusty make it the rest of the way without another stop?
No, he sure can't, Mike. And at this point, other than he and Jeremy, everybody else can with just one more stop. And they knew this morning that they were in trouble on fuel mileage. Robin Pemberton said that they can only go 47 to 48 laps. Like many of the teams here, they declined to detune the engine in order to get better fuel economy. You only pick up a lap or two by doing that, and they decided that they could have a better chance of winning the race with power than with fuel economy. But nobody counted on this thing going green all the way.
The cards have not played into their hands. They would have taken several caution shots to do that. Elliott Sadler has made his stop, and now Dale Earnhardt is in. Earnhardt 2 laps down, 18th place at the time of his stop. So green flag pit stops have started the cycle now for the 3rd time today.
They have. This would be a scheduled pit stop for him. We're coming up on the 200 or the 150 lap mark with 50 to go. So most any of them that are pitting now will be able to go the rest of the way. And Earnhardt looks like just took on right side tires and a tank of fuel.
Ernie Irvan is in. He gives up that 11th place battle with John Andretti.
Ken Schrader is coming in.
The 75, Ted Musgrave. There's Musgrave's final stop.
Taking around the bite out of the left rear there as he makes his stop. Oh, he stalled the car. They're trying to get it going.
Ken Schrader, who started 4th today, says Michigan has not been one of his best tracks. There's Ernie Irvan, who started on the outside pole. Came across the line that last lap in 11th. He'll now drop to 2 laps down.
Here comes the Ward Burton car, number 22. He was running in 4th place. And John Andretti, who was running in 10th or 11th, along in there with Ernie Irvan coming in.
Tommy Baldwin goes to work on the right rear as the rest of the Bill Davis crew changes tires. Dick Berggren.
Just one minor chassis adjustment in this car that was visible on the race car. The rest of it will be done with air pressure. Tommy Wallace on the front tires. Steve Jarrett going to get every drop of gas in it. He does it in 15.28. Whoa! Dynamite pit stop for these guys.
Terry Labonte, Jeffrey Bodine, Jerry Nadeau, Michael Waltrip, Kenny Wallace. And here's Jeff Burton, the 3rd place car, and the 8th place car of Tony Stewart coming in.
And Bill Elliott and Dale Jarrett will be coming in. You heard Todd Perry tell him this time by come in. Bill Stevens.
Jeff Burton's crew over the wall. An extra man allowable today because of the heat. He takes that tearaway off the windshield. He'll offer Jeff a cold drink. They're going 4 tires again. They will adjust air pressure. This has been going on all day long. They'll get fuel. This will be the last scheduled pit stop, and they are down and away. 18.2 seconds. Ralph Shaheen. Here comes Dale Jarrett down pit road, right into his slot. They're planning on 4 tires. No chassis adjustments, but air pressure adjustments. They're planning on making a half-pound adjustment to the left rear and a full-pound adjustment to the right rear. They come around to the other side. Jeff Gordon's crew goes to work on his car as well. They will make a chassis adjustment on that car. Gordon's crew to the left side. Jarrett's crew is done. 18.8 on Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon's crew is done, and away goes his machine.
Bobby Labonte is in as well. Bobby Hamilton made a stop. Labonte takes on right side tires, and it looks like he, yes, will get all four. He's the last car on the lead lap. There is Labonte. Left side's done, and he's away. Sterling Marlin comes in.
As far as fuel is concerned, this should be the last time that they'll have to stop today.
48 laps to go. 96 miles in the Kmart 400. Dale Jarrett the leader. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Ward, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, and Bill Elliott.
There's a lot of reasons why so many people who take care of their cars turn to AutoZone each week. The low prices on the replacement parts they really need, and the large selection of the things they simply want. But most of all, they come to AutoZone because of the helpful, friendly people who work there. The kind of folks who know their stuff and who'll go the extra mile to help you out. Because after all, taking pride in taking care of people is what AutoZone is all about.
Get up, get down. Hang tight, hang loose.
It's been said that moderation is the key to happiness. We don't know who said it, but we know it wasn't someone from Australia.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner removes stubborn brake dust easily. And Eagle One Wet Tire Shine applies a clear high gloss shine instantly. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use premium Eagle One products exclusively?
When you're in the spotlight, you always want to look your best.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner and Eagle One Wet Tire Shine for the perfect finish. Eagle One, are you ready for the attention?
I can't believe I can get this close with an electric shaver.
The 1999 Remington Microscreen 3 gives you 3 things no other shaver can. Our most powerful motor, more cutting edges than any leading shaver, and 3 flexing microscreens. You'll say no electric shaves you closer, faster, or your money back. The Remington Microscreen 3. And men with beards. Get the Remington Precision Beard and Mustache Trimmer. Designed like no other with 8 beard length settings and mustache and neckline trimmers. Precision is perfectly easy.
You know, this place reminds me of a guy I knew named Julius.
Another Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, really, really. This guy, he was in the junkyard one day, kicking around, and he found a rocket booster. So he says, I'm going to set myself a land speed record. Now, he got that thing up to speed. He hit the switch. He took off into outer space.
So whatever happened to him?
He came down out here somewhere.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Now, Kmart.
Tuesday on CBS, who are the greatest stars of all time? Find out when the stars of today vote for their favorite actors. Will your picks make the list? The all-new 100 Years, 100 Stars, Tuesday on CBS. And after today's race, shift gears to CBS Sports Line for a complete wrap-up of the Michigan 400. Join the fan forum to find out if winning's getting tougher on the Winston Cup circuit. Log on to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, it's keyword CBS Sports Line. Mark Martin made a pit stop just moments ago. Mike Ayer came over with the jack. Robert Benfield and Dennis Ritchie on the front tires. Sean Parker and Darrell Morrow with the rear. Chris Dana with the gas. Doug Newell has the second can of gas. Jonathan Davis on the catch can. Jimmy Phoenix, the crew chief for Jack Roush. Driver Mark Martin.
A little surprised that they changed those left side tires because he came in not too long ago and changed left side, but you got an even match set of tires now.
Meanwhile, the brothers are going at it.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon had the shortest amount of time on pit road. Look on the right column. He was 3 full seconds faster from pit in to pit out than Dale Jarrett.
And about 2 seconds of that was coming into the pits. I was looking at DJ. He was following another car coming in, and I thought, man, get that thing slowed down. You're going to break the speed limit. But all of a sudden, Gordon comes in and picks up about 2 seconds on him coming into the pits.
And there are the Burton brothers now running nose to tail. Okay, side by side.
Jeff goes to the high side, and Ward on the bottom there in the 22 car as they head down the front straightaway. You can see the Ford's giving up nothing down the straightaway to his brother, Ward. If anything, he got a better run off the corner.
They're about 15 seconds behind the leader.
And there's no brotherly love there. Nope. Or they'd be running single file, trying to help each other to the front.
Well, there's one thing you have to remember. He takes his check to his house, and the other brother takes his check home with him. So, yeah, you go racing.
Notwithstanding the fact one's in a Ford, one's in a Pontiac.
Yeah. And, Mike, we've talked about drafting. It certainly plays a part here at the Michigan Speedway because of the speed, but not like it does at Daytona and Talladega. Two cars can't hook up and go to the front as well as they can at Daytona and Talladega. It can help, yes, but not nearly as much as at those two racetracks.
And the reason for that is the different lines that people run in the corner. These two cars are not running nose to tail all the way around the racetrack. You'll watch the 98. He has one way of going by. His brother goes a little bit lower on the corner. There's no draft involved there.
Right. Split times and lap times all race long down along pit road. As leader Dale Jarrett, that blue, bright red numeral number 88. Works Wally Dallenbach.
Just put Steve Parker lap down. Steve is running in the 8th position.
Yeah, he fought for a long time, but Jarrett just went up there and made a left-hand turn and went right by him as he's doing Wally Dallenbach there.
Nonetheless, Steve Park is looking for a career best today. Looking for his first top 10 finish. That yellow number 1 car on by Teresa Earnhardt.
Led a good part of Charlotte. He has a great race car.
And Steve Park has his, Rusty Wallace has his hands full of Steve Park right behind him there, battling for that 7th and 8th position. They both just got lapped by Dale Jarrett. There they come into the picture. Rusty in the blue number 2. A little different color on his car now, more balanced here, and the yellow car of Steve Park.
Yeah, they're side by side as they go by the start-finish line.
Park on the inside. All this happening behind race leader Jarrett, who has just lapped Wally Dallenbach for the 2nd time today.
There's that side-by-side battle you saw on the right of your screen. Here it comes again. Steve Park in the yellow car has taken away the position from Rusty Wallace.
The Burton brothers continue now to run nose to tail, and it looks as if there might have been a little discussion up here in the crow's nest between the spotters.
Yeah, there's no question running side by side will slow you down.
Well, it is Father's Day next week, and hopefully John Burton can get the two of them together, and they'll have something to celebrate, let's hope.
You do know that John was a professional fighter at one time, too, so he can take these two boys and make them listen pretty well.
And he's a little guy like they are, so he's the fighter, huh? I didn't know that. But I tell you, he had to be a proud papa at Las Vegas when they battled for the lead out there. Jeff went on to win it. And then backed that up. That was one of the No Bull 5 races. Backed it up by winning at Charlotte a few weeks ago. Got him $1 million bonus.
That's a little more fun than battling for 3rd. Let's have a look at the 10th place race. Tony Stewart and Ernie Irvan, 2 Pontiacs. Stewart has come from pretty deep in the field today. 28. And Ernie Irvan started outside pole. Ran to the first pit stop up with the leaders, but since then the car has not been quite right.
Exactly, Mike. He had some damage to the right side of this race car, and I'm sure it hurts him aerodynamically, even though he's going around the racetrack pretty well. The right front corner is caved in, and it has to be lifting the front end as he goes in the corner.
I talked to Stewart's crew chief yesterday, Greg Ziffidelli, like Stewart, a rookie on the Winston Cup Tour, and I asked him, how have you guys become so good so fast? He says, Tony and I are like brothers. We like the same things, both on the track, away from the track. We have the same hobbies. We spend hours talking to each other. It's almost like one of us instinctively knows what the other one wants and what we can do together to get it. He says, plus, at Joe Gibbs Racing, the fellows who work in the shop on the 18 car also work on the 20 cars and vice versa. And there's an awful lot of interchange that goes on between those two teams. But for a rookie team to be 5th in the Winston Cup point standings has about 35 other teams in the garage shaking their head.
Let's look and see if they've changed any as far as cars slowing down as the racetrack gets more oil and rubber buildup on it. Still 200 miles an hour down the back straightaway and 8,600 RPM. So really, I guess the biggest thing that I see is they're a little bit slower in the center part of the corner right now.
But when you were driving race cars, if you'd look down and seen that tack at 8,600, you'd say the wheels are off the ground. They're spinning.
Yeah, have to be.
The race has its first retiree. Jimmy Spencer, team owner Travis Carter informed their sponsor will not be back next year. And Jimmy Spencer is the first car out of the race. They got that news this week, and a tough day today for the former NASCAR modified champion. 166 of 200 laps complete in the Kmart Michigan 400. We'll be right back.
$10 for lunch? I heard of a guy got a brand new car for that.
Sounds like a Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, I swear it's true. This guy was at the track. He sees this notice. It says brand new hot rod, $10.
No, it's not a misprint. Stop by and see for yourself.
Turns out her husband met this little gal at the track, and he ran off to Tahiti with her. And he told his wife to sell the car and send him the money.
No. Now at Kmart.
It's been a tradition since 1876. Think about that. That's more than 120 years ago that this company started making Budweiser under Adolphus Busch. The family has always put in the forefront, protect the excellence of the product Budweiser. And I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
They say that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. They say that a lot about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Because racing just doesn't get any tougher than this. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR.
All across America, we're there to see you through. We're more than just an oil change, your name is Jiffy Lube.
Racing is hard on cars. Always has been. So is everyday city driving. Jiffy Lube makes it easy to take care of your car, and they offer Pennzoil. Just drive in, drive out, drive on.
We're more than just an oil change, your name is Jiffy Lube. Drive in, drive out, drive on.
Monday on Dave. You watch The Late Show, you'll get your money's worth. Don't miss actor-director Tim Robbins and boxing champ Oscar De La Hoya. Monday.
Welcome back to Michigan Speedway. Bill Elliott on pit road. Broken oil line. They're trying to fix it and get him back in the race. He had a lot of smoke coming down the back straightaway just all of a sudden and out the right front wheel well.
Yeah, you can see right there a lot of smoke. As a matter of fact, there was a little bit of fire shooting out of it down the front straightaway as he headed in towards the pits.
David Green just gets away from him, and you can see some of that oil getting onto the headers and creating some flames out from underneath the car there.
So now there are only 5 cars on the lead lap. Elliott was on the lead lap.
He had a great day going, Ned. He climbed out of the car, saw what it was. Ernie Elliott working on it there in the blue shirt, the engine man. And they helped Bill out of the car, and almost immediately he wanted to jump right back in.
Yeah, after they found out what was wrong, I guess.
He had a great run going today, Dick Berggren.
Well, he did want to jump right back in again, Mike, but the car is so filled with fumes, he was only there a few seconds and bailed back out again. This oil line is not a major line. It's one that goes from the valve cover into the engine itself. It's not a big deal, but they don't have the thing back together again. And as Elliott sits here on pit road, they're trying to fumigate the car. They're blowing fresh air in it, and he is going down lap after lap. What a disappointment after such a strong run today in the Kmart 400.
It's a heartbreak for the man who came in here, truly is the sentimental favorite at this racetrack where he has won 7 times. 28 laps from the finish. Dale Jarrett has held court here at Michigan just about 3/4 of this race. Jeff Gordon has now closed to within 4.5 seconds. As we pointed out, he gained a lot of that on the final green flag pit stop. We have not had a caution all day.
And Jeff Gordon had closed it down to about 3.9 seconds about 5 laps ago, but he got in some traffic that DJ had been in, so maybe that, caused the separation. They've been running anywhere from 4 to 4.5 seconds since they came out of the pits.
So here's Jarrett and looking for Jeff Gordon.
There he is.
Second place car. There's your interval. The Burton brothers have kind of lost touch with one another. They are now 2 seconds apart, no longer nose to tail, but continue to be 3rd and 4th. Jeff in 3rd, Ward in 4th, and Bobby Labonte, last week's winner at Dover, is the 5th place car.
And Bobby is in no danger of going a lap down. He's 24 seconds behind the leader, but the leader's running a little over 40 seconds, so he's still 16 seconds out in front of the leader.
1 lap down, Steve Park having a career day in Winston Cup racing for the former NASCAR modified ace. Rusty Wallace in 7th. His teammate Jeremy Mayfield 8th. Ernie Irvin 9th. And Tony Stewart in 10th. Then John Andretti, Mark Martin, Kenny Irwin, Kenny Schrader, Dale Earnhardt, the top 15. Bill Elliott's back in the race. As we have a look at Steve Park, the yellow and black car. And here's our leader, Dale Jarrett. He's locked up 5 bonus points for leading the most laps today. Here's second place, Jeff Gordon, number 24, in a Chevrolet. Third is going to be Jeff Burton in that number 99 Ford. And Ward Burton in fourth. There is Jeff Burton, predominantly black car, and there the yellow and black Pontiac of Ward Burton, number 22. Bobby Labonte is running by himself in 5th place.
Kevin LePage in the 16 there. You can see the difference in the cars. It's all in the corner. The 2 cars run very similar down the straightaway, but when they hit the corner, the 88 car of Jarrett, just a rocket ship.
Kevin LePage running in the 30th position, now 3 laps down.
And our Circuit City telemetry with LePage.
About 8,500 there. 87. Whoa, he's got a lot of gear in that car. You see, he's not running 200 down the straightaway there.
Got a lower gear in it, which would kill that top end speed.
Yeah.
Lets him get off the corner a little bit better.
Now down the back straightaway, they may not turn quite as much.
Not quite as much
there.
because you come off the turn 2 and it's a 5-degree back straightaway into almost a square corner going in the next corner. But coming off turns 4, you have a good run and a big dog leg through the front straightaway here.
This is a D-shaped racetrack, and so, yeah, they just accelerate full all the way through this area here. And they're still accelerating to right along there. DJ will start backing out, then get down the bottom of the racetrack. But they really carry a lot of speed into that turn.
Dale Jarrett's trying to hold a 4.3-second lead on Jeff Gordon. Let's go to the leader's pit. Ralph?
Well, Todd Barrett is crew chief. Todd, you've had a bit of a tight race car all day today. How tight is it now, and can you make it on fuel?
Yeah, we can make it on fuel, no problem. The bar's a little bit tight. We keep adjusting on it, but it just seems like this racetrack gets more rubber on it. It just keeps getting a little tighter. 23 laps to go. Had an awesome car all day. The guys have done a great job, and just hopefully hold on this thing and stay out there.
Traditionally, with a tight race car, they don't get looser. They just get tighter on a longer run. Are you concerned about that?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a little concerned, but there's nothing we can do. You know, he can just kind of keep searching for a new groove, a new line, and hopefully that he can find one that suits the car's style.
Mike, at this point, as Todd said, it's now into the hands of the driver.
Dale Jarrett came into this race 10th among the drivers who have led the most laps. He is going to leave here 6th in that category. He has dominated today. CBS Sports coverage of the Kmart Michigan 400 continues after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
I was going through this intersection.
What?
No, this guy
What's
came out
wrong?
of nowhere. I swear to avoid him, but
Slow down. Are you all right?
What happened?
Dad, I'm really sorry about the car.
That doesn't matter. That's okay. Don't worry about that.
Your whole life can change in a second. So think about this. Ford Taurus is the only car in its class to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating.
He should have come, but he's fine.
Who are the greatest stars of all time? Find out CBS Tuesday.
A lot of industry experts tell us the passenger side is the best place for a third door. Others insist that the driver's side is the only logical choice. But as you can see, it all goes right in one ear and out the other. Dodge Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Due to a track fire, this train will be temporarily delayed.
Mikey Washington and Don Stensland. Weekdays at 5 on KYW3 Eyewitness News.
CBS Sports presentation of the 1999 Kmart Michigan 400 is sponsored by Route 66. Jeans, clothes, it's not Main Street, only at Kmart. Budweiser, and by Goodyear.
182 laps complete. Passing flag at work for race leaders Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, Jeff and Ward Burton, and Bobby Labonte. Somebody fan there looking skyward for help for his favorite driver, I think, because Dale Jarrett has been so tough to catch today. He will lead the most laps of this race. First time he's done that since Rockingham last October. He's led over 120 laps thus far today. Due to the interval, back to Jeff Gordon, and it is shrinking. Watch for that bright orange nosed number 24. 3.9 seconds last time by.
Yeah, that's down from when you mentioned it a little while ago, 4.35.
Jeff Gordon using a lot of the racetrack up, and right now he's letting it all hang out, and there's a lot of racing to go yet. This thing is not settled by any means.
Gordon is closing in. The question is, in 17 laps, how close can he get?
Well, he's trying everything he can. He's drafting every car he comes up on. He's using everybody out there as an advantage right now.
Still a couple of lapped cars separate them on the racetrack.
On the 24.
Okay, so that was Todd Parrott said that DJ ran a 40.90 and 40.85. That's in seconds for the 24, so he gained 0.05 of a second that time around. That shows up on our computer here as well.
Wally Dallenbach is battling Dale Earnhardt for position. They are 15th and 16th place. 16 LePage is not part of that battle, but you'll find Earnhardt right alongside Dallenbach. And Michael Waltrip is in it as well for 17th place. Those three are having a great fight.
Okay, the Earnhardt car, the black car, right down on the bottom of the racetrack. Kevin LePage is 16 on the outside there. You can hear Dallenbach having to get out of trouble because he's side by side with Michael Waltrip down the front straightaway.
Looking back from our TV guide cam on board Kevin LePage at that battle between the 25 and the 7 for 16th position. Earnhardt is 15th, just ahead. Just past Dallenbach a lap ago.
And at the end of that group right there, Steve Park, we talked about him not long ago. He's still out there trying his best in 6th place.
There's Park having a career day. Now he's got to work his way past those cars, which are one lap further down than he. Oh, Waltrip down to the inside. Look out.
3 wide. Here we go. Somebody will have to back off before they get to the turn. Maybe it should be you. No, it's LePage.
Well, he was not on the same lap as those other drivers, so wise move by the Shelburne, Vermont driver, Kevin LePage.
Yeah, very smart. Of course, so one car, Steve Park, was able to get on by Michael Waltrip, but here comes Waltrip back. He's got a run on him going down the straightaway.
Steve just moved over about 1.5 feet, said, I believe I'll take that spot away right now, but Michael hasn't given up at all. He moves to the high side of the racetrack and starts down towards the front straightaway.
Well, Steve Park coming up cost Michael in his battle with Wally Dallenbach. He's dropped several car lengths back from Dallenbach and Earnhardt. From 15th on back is that battle.
And up front, Jeff Gordon has cut it to 3.5 seconds, 3.509. He's gaining.
13 laps to go. The lapped cars between those two include Jarrett's teammate, Kenny Irwin.
But gaining 1/10 of a second a lap won't get it, Mike. He doesn't have enough time.
Not unless they made this a 500-miler net.
Yeah. The only thing I will point out is one little slip from the bottom of the racetrack to the top, and all that's a race. 4 seconds sounds like a big lead, but one mistake and you lose all that.
Jarrett laps Rich Bickle. Cuts to the inside. There's the gap back to Gordon. And you can see he is closing.
3:30 this time. Picked up 0.2 of a second that lap.
Jarrett had to deal with Rich Bickle, and that allowed Gordon to close up a little more.
There are 3 cars between them. The one he just passed, Bickle, and then the 28 car of Kenny Irwin.
Which right at the moment, the 24 Jeff Gordon would like that because he's using the draft off of the cars to really get down the straightaway.
Exactly. And there's nobody in front of Jarrett for a long way to get any help on the straightaway.
Gordon, though, will get a sniff of a draft.
Stay after it. Stay up on top of that wheel. 41 flat. 75 on the 24.
Quarter of a second that time.
That is Todd Parrott, crew chief for Dale Jarrett. The other lapped car between them is Kyle Petty.
Got it down under 3 seconds, buddy.
Yep, 2.923 right now, and Gordon's doing everything he can to try to close up on Dale Jarrett.
It'll be 10 laps to go when they come back.
David Green and Rick Mast back on track after a final pit stop for a splash of gas. Some of these cars coming in now not getting quite as good gas mileage to make this a 3-stop race. Gordon has passed Kyle Petty. Now just 2 cars between he and the leader.
40.95.
Todd Parrott giving lap by lap counts where the 24 is at. And one thing he did say just a second ago, stay on top of that wheel. Don't relax. Do the right thing.
2.7 seconds first to second. Jeff Burton now 3 seconds ahead of his older brother Ward in that battle for 3rd place. Bobby Labonte also still on the lead lap.
Jarrett Mayfield coming into the pits. He has been short pitting all day. He has not been able to run 50 laps. Rusty Wallace will probably be coming in for too long. He has not been able to do it either.
Plus 2.7.
Final pit stop for Mayfield.
40.90.
Todd Parrott.
85 on the 24.
0.05 of a second to gain that time.
Gordon's still picking up, but Ned, he's got a long ways to go and a short time to do it.
Yeah.
Todd Parrott looking on. You know, the teams communicate in seconds per lap, not miles per hour, as you folks read in the papers, because stopwatches don't easily convert those seconds to miles per hour. You say I ran a 20, that's like a 43.20. You say I ran a 20, everybody in the garage knows what you mean. Nobody in the grandstand probably would.
Yeah, that's true.
When you say 0.02 of a second, you don't have to give them that interval. They can see them in the mirror.
But they use that shorthand just by going by the stopwatch.
40.85 on the 24.
Now the 24 has a couple of cars to deal with there. Now how much will they hold him up? How much time will that cost him?
2.5 seconds the distance. 8 laps to go.
Now this will cost him a little bit right here, Mike. When you come, even though he's making that pass pretty easy, buddy, but it still cost him some time.
You're exactly right. He couldn't go out towards the wall and maximize his run off the corner there. Rich Bickle in the purple car there was on the outside, and he had to pinch the car down. That hurt him straightaway speed-wise.
Now, meanwhile, Jarrett will catch some other cars before this race ends.
And that could also play a factor. It could help give Jarrett a little aerodynamic toe coming along, but there in his lane could be problems to deal with. 7 laps to go.
Just in front of Gordon, that's the teammate for Dale Jarrett, Kenny Irwin.
There's the interval. It keeps shrinking.
Well, the last time Jarrett picked up a little bit as a result of Gordon being up the side of Rich Bickle.
Ray Evernham, crew chief and team leader for Jeff Gordon, the Winston Cup champ.
Good work those spotters, Bob.
Those 2 know it. I don't know how much the 5 will help, folks.
Well, I see the 5 car, he said, that's Terry Labonte. That's Jeff Gordon's teammate right in front of Dale Jarrett, and Dale Jarrett's teammates right in front of Jeff Gordon.
Clear high, extra a whole lot.
When Todd says work those spotters, all the spotters are up in one stand, and Dale Jarrett's spotter has been running over to the spotters who are all dressed in team uniforms, so they're easy to identify one against the other, and saying, hey, we're coming up. Can you get out of our way and give us a little help here?
Good sportsmanship there. Yep. The 28 pulls over, lets Jeff Gordon go.
Absolutely. Not going to affect the outcome of this
Clear
race.
high. Clear high.
Now Jarrett has got by 2 of those cars that were in front of him.
5 to go. 5 laps. You're doing good. Nice and smooth.
That's the spotter, Bob Jeffrey.
2.4 seconds. Here's the distance. 5 laps to go.
Rusty Wallace there in the 2 car, fixing to go down to Jeff Gordon, and you can see him making a high line down the back straightaway with passes.
The track that gave Dale Jarrett his very first Winston Cup victory looks as if it may be set to reward him with another.
Mike, you have racetracks that you just have good luck on, and this is one of Dale Jarrett's best racetracks, I think. He just manages to get that race car. He gets in a rhythm and does a great job out there.
Well, he does a good job of driving it, but he also has a great race car. You know, horsepower is, we've talked about handling, which is very important on this racetrack, but horsepower is very important too, and Robert Yates always gives him great horsepower.
The first Winston Cup race at Michigan, 1969. Cale Yarborough took home $17,600. Today, first man to the flag will win over $100,000, and every one of the 43 drivers will take home more money than Cale did that day 30 years ago. Which, Cale, if he's watching, I'm sure he's not thrilled about that. But that's how far this series has come. And this sport.
Come a long way since those days, hasn't it?
All right, buddy, you're Dale Jarrett. What are you thinking here with 3 laps to go, and it's gone all your way thus far?
He's aware right now that it's his race to lose. Right now, he's got to do the right thing, not make a mental error. And as well as the car is handling, although Gordon is chopping down his lead somewhat, he has to run the perfect lap and not let anything pressure him. Don't make a bad move through lap traffic.
Gordon has it cut down to 1.9 seconds. There's that. Rusty Wallace battles along with the 28 for 11th place, Kenny Irwin. That is for position.
2 laps to go.
Jarrett about to lap past the 98 of Rick Mast, which is the most interesting multicolored car since James Hilton brought a car to Pocono that was lined on one side, red on the other.
Yeah, and the next car in front of him, Mark Martin, just been off a little bit all day, and you can see Jarrett moving right up on him there.
Yeah, Mark had that extra pit stop when he had a lug nut that was left loose.
He's in 10th place. Dave Blaney makes a final pit stop, gets a push away. He may have run out of fuel trying to stretch it. And the rookie will get to finish this one. Only one car in the garage, that being Jimmy Spencer.
White flag.
White flag.
Last year's winner just ahead of this year's point leader.
Boy, I tell you what, Gordon's really chopped it down. It's about a 15-car length lead right now.
1 second.
That's all. 1 second. It is about 15 car lengths, as Buddy says. There they are. Gordon sweeps into the back straightaway as finally Mark Martin yields to Jarrett. Gordon can now sniff the draft to the race leader.
Clear low.
Jarrett up high. Gordon right in his tire tracks on the high side.
Boy, he's closing in. I know Jarrett's taking it very carefully, but the 24 is just there, right behind him. You see the orange nose coming for the flag.
And Dale Jarrett wins the Kmart Michigan 400.
Brought this one back to the Motor City.
And that's an important win. As Todd Parrott just pointed out, all the Detroit automaker brass are here in the VIP suites looking on. So this one will go to Ford. And to Robert Yates, driver Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon is second. Jeff Burton is in third. There is Burton, came in second in points. Will hold on to that spot with a third place finish today. Older brother Ward Burton is fourth, and Bobby Labonte fifth. Those are the lead lap cars.
And Bobby Labonte was in third in point standings coming in. He'll hang on to that position. Jeff Gordon, we'll have to see how it all calculates out because he was sixth. He could move into the top 5. There will be a bonus for DJ winning here today. Winston puts up $10,000 per race if you're the leader in the point standings after the race.
Let's go down to the winner's pit. Ralph Shaheen.
Well, we're down here with the winning crew chief, Todd Parrott. Boy, it's been a while since you really dominated one like that. Tell me about your emotions today.
A lot of them. You know, it's we haven't done this since '96. We didn't run that strong here in '96, but we had a great race car, and you know, this is just a total team effort. It goes to show you what a team effort it takes to win on this division. And the guys in the fab shop worked night and day on this car for about a week. And it's a car we had at California. Wasn't very good. Went home, put a new dress on it, and came up here and ran awfully strong. I'd like to say hello to Tyler. Wish him happy birthday, Debbie Chandler at home, and all the guys in the fab shop, and Granny Parrott. Granny Parrott, this is for you, baby.
I can tell you're a little choked up here today. Was this what you needed to get this championship, a win like this?
You know, it's just...
It's okay. It's all right.
It's what we needed. You know, these guys have worked so hard. You know, we're not going to give up, and that's what the T-shirt says.
Mike?
20th career win for Dale Jarrett, tying him with Speedy Thompson and Ricky Rudd for 26th on the Winston Cup all-time victory list. We'll be back to talk with the winner right after this.
Flip Log Day 19. Traveling the circuits of NASCAR.
Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte.
The drivers, the cars, the action, bumper to bumper, mano-a-mano at speeds of over 200 miles an hour, with us covering every heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping moment at the incredible speeds of over
35 miles an hour, as fast as it goes. What?
It's a good thing they keep going around in circles.
When friends get together and the work's all done, there's one place to go when the weekend comes. Ford Country. Look at that truck. Ford Country. Gonna kick up some dust. Ford Country. Where the open road runs. Ford Country. The whole world's Ford Country.
In the racing business, the right hardware at the right time can make the difference between winning and losing.
Get the toolbox that rocks at True Value. It's just $24.95 when you spend $20 or more on your Visa card at participating True Value hardware stores.
Your True Value is the official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and homes everywhere.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. See store for details.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
Today was the first caution flag-free Winston Cup race since 1997 in the spring at Talladega. 7 drivers traded the lead 12 times, and the speed is a new track record. Average speed with pit stops 173.997 miles per hour. Only Jimmy Spencer entered the race in the garage. Let's go to Victory Lane and Ken Squire.
And here's the man that's done it, who's driven about as perfect a race as you can do it. Dale Jarrett out of the number 88, Robert Yates. Ford Taurus. Could it have been any better than that, Dale?
Probably the best race car I've ever driven. Thank Todd Perry and this entire crew. They told me they were bringing me a real horse this weekend, and they did. I want to thank Ford Motor Company, Ford Quality Care, Ford Credit. You know, we usually don't go through all the sponsors. This is such a good car. We got to thank Coca-Cola, Fleetwood RVs, Quality Care parts, everybody, Motorcraft parts. This is just awesome. Texaco. Appreciate everybody's support. This was just a great day for us. We needed this. You know, we've struggled along the way, even though we were leading the points. Didn't struggle today.
Not one bit, and no cautions. Second time in history of this race.
Yeah, I was sitting there praying for no cautions, as good as the car was. Plus, I knew that Jeff got his car better. He was catching me. Looked like he got a little cooler and the track got more rubber. My car got tighter. We adjusted it some, but we didn't want to go too far with it.
Did you have any more for him at the end if you needed it?
No, I was going pretty hard there. My car just picked up a real push there, and I was glad that we didn't have any more time.
Record holder at Michigan at 174 miles an hour. Dale Jarrett, congratulations. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
Well, a couple of weeks ago when Jeff Gordon was having trouble finishing races, well, you said, gee, we got to get top fives. This is the first time I've seen you crack a smile with this second place.
Well, I'm not real thrilled about the type of second that we brought home tonight or today, but I'm happy that we finished. And you know, when you go back a few weeks ago, and I would have taken this in a heartbeat. But you know, there's just a certain thing about about going out there and being fast and being competitive and maybe getting beat on fuel mileage. It just kills me when we're out there just getting slam beat. I mean, every single lap from the time you pull off pit road to the time you pull back to pit road to get tires. You know, the 88 and Dale Jarrett and all those guys, they did a heck of a job. They had us beat. We're happy to bring home the DuPont Chevrolet in second, get some points, get some momentum, you know, and hopefully make some gains on them. But pretty boring day for me today, actually.
You had a great look at that number 88 car. Where was he strongest, Jeff?
I did. I couldn't see him. I don't know. I mean, I saw him when he was letting off there at the end to make it look good. Dale Jarrett's really, really good at a lot of things, and driving the race car is one of them. But he would just roll and cut the middle so good. When he did get by me early in the race, when we were having fun at the beginning of the race. It was exciting at that point, and he could just really float in there, turn the corner, and step on the gas and go, and that's what you need everywhere you go.
Good run today, bud. Second place for Jeff Gordon. To Mike Joy.
There can only be one winner, but you've got to admire a fellow who hates to lose as much as Jeff Gordon does. We'll talk to lots more drivers when we come back to Michigan after this.
Rock and roll! We love you!
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. See store for details.
The galaxy's most legendary heroes, fearsome villains, and coolest vehicles. Now available to take home and play with at Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC. Right now at participating KFC locations, you can get one of these cool Star Wars Episode 1 collectible toys inside every KFC kids meal you buy.
For those of you watching CBS live coverage of the Kmart Michigan 400, Speedway Shop presents the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 118 scale Budweiser Monte Carlo by Revell. Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove this car during his Winston Cup debut at the Coca-Cola 600. This extremely detailed paint scheme displays the famous red and white Budweiser racing colors. The number 8 Dale Earnhardt Jr. die-cast car with working hood and trunk is a limited edition and a must for the astute collector and can be yours for just $71.50 by calling 1-877-780-RACE. Also available, the 1999 NASCAR Collector Set. All 16 cars in this set are 1/64 scale and made by racing champions. Included in the set are drivers Martin, Burton, Elliott, Urban, Labonte, and more. Each car comes with card holder and display stand. This limited edition set can be yours for just $39.85 by calling 1-877-780-RACE. Now, let's get back to the Speedway for more CBS live coverage of the Kmart Michigan 400.
When it comes to big comedy, he rules. Sumo wrestler? Watch The King of Queens.
No, just bad.
Right after Cosby, CBS Monday.
Saturday night, July 3rd in prime time. NASCAR under the lights of Daytona. The Pepsi 400 on CBS.
Night moon.
First time ever in network prime time, the Pepsi 400. See our preview show at 5 p.m. Eastern and the race. Green flag and fireworks at 8 p.m. Saturday night, July 3rd on CBS Sports. Monday on CBS, it's an all-star comedy lineup beginning with Cosby, followed by The King of Queens with Kevin James and Jerry Stiller. Then Everybody Loves Raymond and Becker starring Ted Danson, followed by 48 Hours Mysteries Monday on CBS. Here's Bill Stevens.
And I'm with the third-place finisher, Jeff Burton. Boy, that car was kind of like a work in progress today, changing the tire pressures on pit stops and trying to perfect it. You got to be happy you finished third.
Well, we're happy. We're not overjoyed. You know, we always like an opportunity to have a chance to win, and we didn't have that today. So we're always disappointed when we get beat that bad. But we had a good car, but those two guys had a great car, and they just did a better job. It seemed to me the best car won, and that's okay.
What was the car doing to you out there?
Well, we had it doing a lot of different things. It took off. It was a little too tight. Then the next run, when they really got away from me, it was way too tight. That's when they really got away. And then we about broke even with them the rest of the day. But I didn't get on pit road a couple times very well, and we took off. We were way too tight on the second run, and those two things added up to, you know, a 11-second lead, and that's pretty much where they stayed the rest of the day.
But a top three, you're in it for keeps on this points race.
Well, we hope so. We're smart enough to know that we've got to finish in the top 5, but we also got to win some races. You're not going to win every race, but you like to have a chance to win every race, and we hope to be a little bit better next week than we were this week.
Talk to your brother at all about running together today?
I hadn't seen him yet, but that's a lot of fun. You know, Ward and I are pretty competitive people. I know he's mad because he finished 4th and I finished 3rd, but it'll be opposite next week.
Let's get his brother's side of the story. Ralph is with him right now.
Thank you, Bill. Now, Ward, your brother says he knows you're probably mad because he finished in front of you, are you?
No, I'm pretty happy about my Caterpillar team. They've worked really hard, and it's been a while since we had another top 5. So, you know, we're knocking on the door and getting consistent, getting a little bit better every week.
You and your crew chief, Tommy Baldwin, have even been running some bush races together, really working on developing the communication between the two of you. How is that, and how's it coming?
It's good. Tommy, he never gives up. You know, as long as I'm complaining, he's changing, and he knows when he gets the car right, we'll go fast. And I know that he's one of the most capable guys in the business. The good thing is, you know, we've got a lot to learn together, but I like to say I know Eddie and Shelby and Justin are watching at home. Tried to win this for Kevin, but we'll get it next time. Thank you.
All right, Ward, you can tell it's a very emotional day for Ward Burton, as we talked about earlier today, Ken Squire.
The key man of Robert Yates Racing, Robert Yates. Talk about awesome. This was massive awesome today.
I'll tell you, there's nothing better than coming to Motor City and taking this Ford Taurus and making it run like the Taurus instead of maybe the Turtle like it looked like earlier in the year where it couldn't lead laps. It's just nothing better than to come here because we deal with so many people here in Motor City and Ford and Quality Care and Ford Credit. Thanks for this opportunity to come up here and kick their butt.
Well, listen, Motor City's history. What we want to know about is Saturday night, July the 3rd, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Well, I think we have as good of plans as we have going there as we came here with, so I hope that it works out the same.
All right, thank you very much, Robert. Biggest incident of the day. The big incident, pace car. Someone locked the keys in it. They had to get a wrecker and haul that back and bring out an alternative. That was the only flaw in the entire ointment this afternoon.
42 of 43 cars finished the race, 5 of them on the lead lap. We'll give you a full rundown and talk to some more of the competitors in the Kmart Michigan 400 today at Michigan Speedway. We'll be right back.
You know, this place reminds me of a guy I knew named Julius.
Another Darrell Waltrip story.
Oh, really, really. This guy, he was in the junkyard one day, kicking around, and he found a rocket booster. So he says, I'm going to set myself a land speed record. Now, he got that thing up to speed. He hit the switch. He took off into outer space.
So whatever happened to him?
He came down out here somewhere.
Get out of here.
Oh,
now, Kmart.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. See store for details.
On any road, in any kind of weather, you can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire. But not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear Aqua Steel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. Aqua Steel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
While these two trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Coming up next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Doug Flutie, Tommy Moe, Warren Sapp, Wayne Crabette, and many more battle to be the best at the Snapple Superstars. Then Marion Jones heads up the competition, long jumping in front of her hometown crowd at Raleigh in the Pontiac Grand Prix Invitational Track and Field Meet. Next weekend, CBS Sports renews the greatest rivalries in tennis at the Quality Challenge. Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, Bjorn Borg versus John McEnroe. Then on Sunday, beginning at 3, the winner will battle either Jimmy Connors or Mats Wilander. Well, let's go to a driver who had his career best Winston Cup finish today. He's with Dick Berggren.
Big day. They just finished loading that 6th-place car into the trailer. Steve Parks had a smile on ever since he got out of that thing. How was your day today?
Well, I'll tell you, it was a hot day, but I'll tell you what, running that good, we felt great all day long. And, you know, to have the Pennzoil car finish 6th is just is an honor. I'll tell you what, these guys, they've been working hard. We've had great pit stops all day long, and with the addition of Paul Andrews, he's just done a wonderful job to rally this team to a team that's capable of running the top 10 in Winston Cup, and we're excited right now.
Long run without a break in that race car. Have you ever run that long without a break?
I don't think so, but we're having so much fun. It was like I didn't even know we didn't have a caution flag, and we just kept making our scheduled pit stops, and we're getting great fuel mileage. And hats off to the guys back home. They built a great race car. It's a car they turned around at Pocono to bring here, and we're turning it around and bringing it back to Pocono again. So guys, be ready to work when we get home, and my hats off to the engine shop too. These guys, they built great horsepower. They got good gas mileage, and that's what it's all about at Michigan.
You don't even look tired. Aren't you tired after all this racing today and no break?
Dr. Dick, I'm too excited, man. We finished 6th. I'll tell you, this is great. I'm excited. I'm going to sleep great tonight. And, you know, I'd also like to congratulate Jimmy Johnson and the ASA and Scott Goodyear. They're two of my fellow Pennzoil drivers who won races, and we were trying to pick up a 3-peat today, and we just couldn't do it. We're just going to sell for 6.
And we congratulate you, Steve Park. Job well done. To Bill Stevens.
Thanks, Dick. Joe Gibbs is a team owner for Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart. And, well, let's see, Coach. Bobby started 18th, finished 5th, and Tony started 28th and finished 9th. Must be those pep talks.
No, it's not the pep talks for me. Jimmy Maycar and Zippy are the ones giving the pep talks. We're just, we're thrilled for Home Depot and Interstate Batteries, and we had good runs with both cars. The problem was we got down about 13, 14 seconds on the first run there by the time you get out of traffic, and after that, we can never make that back up. We were pretty good later on. I think we ran, you know, Bobby ran about as good as anybody. Tony was off a little bit. He got hit in the right, they got hit in the left fender, so left rear fender. And in any case, it was one of those days, hey, no cautions, no flags were thrown, and you got to go with it. And but we're happy.
Tony's talked a lot about how he looks up to you and respects you, but based on what he's done this year, you've got to be as impressed with him as he is with you.
I'm definitely I've never heard him say that, what you just said. I think he's always telling me what he wants to do. But we've had a good relationship with Tony and Home Depot. That's just been a real neat relationship. In the car, I got to tell you the truth, nobody thought that. I thought Tony would race great, have some excellent runs, but to think that he would go this far up in the points this early, it's just been great. And, of course, Bobby, this is our chance, you know, we feel like, to make a run at a championship. And Dale had a great car today and outrun us. We come in 5th, and we'll just take that and go home.
Well, this man has coached 3 Super Bowl champions, and he had the driver that won the '93 Daytona 500. That was that Jarrett kid. How many guys can you say that about, Mike?
Quite a resume in racing that Joe Gibbs is building in a straight line as well as oval track. 5 drivers finished on the lead lap. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon was 5 seconds back. Jeff Burton 17 seconds off the lead at the checker. Ward Burton 20 seconds, and Bobby Labonte 28.5 seconds off the win. Steve Park, Ernie Irvin, and John Andretti were 1 lap behind. These drivers were 2 laps back. Tony Stewart again leading rookie in the race.
Mark Martin there in 10th. Kenny Irwin 11th.
Rusty Wallace 12th. Kenny Schrader, Wally Dallenbach, Michael Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt were all 2 laps down.
Jeremy Mayfield 17th. Mike Skinner 18th. Johnny Benson 19th. Jeffrey Bodine in 20th.
All of these guys had great runs today, but look how far back to finish. Kenny Wallace, Sterling Marlin, Terry Labonte, and Rich Bickle.
Yeah, they were all 2 laps down back to Kenny Wallace, and then those 3 drivers on the right of the screen, and these were all 3 laps down. Ted Musgrave, Jerry Nadeau, Kyle Petty, Chad Little.
All you had to be was a couple of tenths off every lap, and this is what would happen. You end up several laps back.
Kevin LePage, Brett Bodine, Bobby Hamilton, and Derek Cope, all 3 laps down, as were these 4 drivers: Dave Blaney, Joe Nemechek, David Green, and Elliott Sadler. 4 laps back, Rick Mast and Ricky Rudd, Darrell Waltrip, 5 laps off the pace, Loy Allen, 5 laps down, Bill Elliott, after 7 laps for repairs, He was 6th when he pitted. He got back out and finished.
Oh, yeah, that was such a great run. Led the race some for Harry Melling at car owner for years past.
Only one driver out of the race, that being Jimmy Spencer, finishing behind Robert Presley. We'll be back with lots more from Michigan International Speedway, where Dale Jarrett has won and shattered the track record for 400 miles by a full 8 miles an hour.
Ay-ya.
We'll be right back.
I travel light. I can pack everything I need into a weekend.
Ford Ranger, built Ford tough.
Rock and roll! We love you!
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Get a free fender cover with case purchase of Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. See store for details.
To help you remember 10, 10, 3, 4, 5 long distance, we're looking at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th planets. You can call anywhere in the world and save up to 50%. Calls to the UK and Canada are only 10 cents a minute. Well, I've just been informed that Jupiter, not Saturn, is the 5th planet. 10, 10, 3, 4, 5. The simple way to save on all your long distance.
As Napa drivers, you're responsible for safely delivering the best parts in the world. So I've brought in a special guest instructor. Ron Hornaday, NASCAR Truck Series champion.
You want to go to the turns about 130.
What's a safe distance to be from the guy in front of you?
5 inches. It's called drafting.
Oh?
All right, get in the truck. I'm going to have to show you. You getting all this down?
They're going to can me for this.
CBS Sports presentation of the 1999 Kmart Michigan 400 is sponsored by Route 66. Jeans, clothes, it's not Main Street, only at Kmart. Ford Ranger. And by Haviland Formula 3 motor oil.
Welcome back to Michigan Speedway. Dale Jarrett, the winner. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen in the garage area.
Well, I'm with the crew chief who finished in 2nd place here today. This would be Ray Evernham, crew chief for Jeff Gordon. What did you think about the race today? Your car was pretty strong, but the 88 was even stronger.
Yeah, when you have a place like this, that the track is normally pretty smooth and you don't have cautions and you can see who's got the fastest car. The 88 had the fastest car today, and our car was just 2nd fastest.
Do you think you got beat with horsepower or fuel economy, or where are you right now as far as contesting with the 88 for championship points?
Well, it certainly didn't come down to fuel economy. You know, sometimes you just hit a better balance of all those things, aerodynamics and horsepower, and those guys had good pit stops. It was just a good day for them, you know. Todd and his group pay attention, and DJ runs well here. Robert Yates and his group make good horsepower. So, you know, I don't think we got beat on any one of those things. I think that today they were just a little bit better in all those areas.
One of the things I find interesting with your team is very similar to what's going on with Mark McGwire in baseball. He hit 70 home runs last year. He hits 50 this year. Everybody says he's having a horrible season. You guys win a bunch of races in the championship last year. This year, you've already won Daytona, a couple other races, and you're in points contention. Everybody's going, what's wrong with those guys? Where are you? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, and the guys are fine, too. It's just, you know, last year we didn't have really any DNFs. This year we've had 4 already, but you know, the thing that bothers us most is we want to make sure that when we're on the track, we're the best car, and we're not going to worry about where we are in points and things like that. What we've got to worry about right now is if we get head-to-head with the 88 and how we're going to beat them. And, you know, everybody said, well, if there was a caution, could you beat them? Well, I don't know. I'd like to have a shot at it, but the 99 might have beat all of us.
Is there a spot where you're stronger or weaker that you know you got to work on as far as the 88? Where's that weak spot?
Well, again, I don't think it's something that you can pinpoint, but you go to work in all your areas. You know, we'll look at the tapes of the race, and did we get beat in the pits? Did we get beat on the track? Did we get beat in horsepower? And we've got to go to work on all those areas. I don't think that there's any big gains. It's just a matter of they outperformed us probably in all those areas today.
Now, Ray Evernham probably signs more autographs than anybody, but look at this. He even got Boston Reed to sign the back of his shirt. To Ray, good luck, Boston Reed. Dick?
Well, every Monday morning, John Andretti does a report. He fills this thing out and sends it off to his crew, describes how his weekend went. Today, he went from 24th to 8th, passing 16 cars. What's that report going to read tomorrow?
Well, I can tell you Martinsville report was really long, and we don't run so good. It's pretty short because we all know that's pretty bad, but it'll be a fairly lengthy report. And also, we're going to Pennsylvania, so I have to say hello to my grandparents because we're going to be there shortly.
How physically demanding was it to be in that race car for that amount of time today?
Well, it's hard for me because I can't drink and drive at the same time, and I didn't take on any fluids the whole race. But luckily, my guys got me this new cool thing for my head, and seems like everybody else been running them except for me. So now I got one, and they're making Kyle suffer a little bit.
Car was much better in the race than it had been during practice and so forth. You had talked to me earlier in the week about how much you appreciate your crew, your car owner and so forth are all talking about the race car and you. What's most responsible for this good performance today?
Well, it's always the crew. I mean, they're the ones that have to build the motors and build the cars, and they don't get much rest, and they haven't gotten much rest all season. We haven't destroyed many cars, but we're always building something brand new and trying something new, and we're going testing tomorrow, so they don't get much rest, and those are the guys that should get all the credit. But you know, when the drivers end up getting it if we go bad, and we try to pass it off if we don't go good, but the crews really deserves it when we go good.
And of course the drivers working tomorrow as well. To Bill Stevens.